random guy making stuff up. Maybe one day we'll get into my spotlight, but it's not about me today. It's about this guy over here. No, I always do it wrong. It's about this guy over here. This guy, yeah, because it's backwards. So like I'm like, you
Am I
know,
doing the right direction?
no, the other way, the other way, the other way.
Oh.
It's this way. Yeah. Yeah, we'll do the fusion.
The fusion.
Ha! Yeah, close enough. Yo, you got it. That's cool. Awesome. I knew you were a nerd like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure, nerd.
Anyways, so that's just, we'll get into me later. I'm rambling. Oh, man, I told you I get nervous. My knees are weak. My arms are sweaty. No mom's spaghetti yet, but we'll see how it goes. Anyways, awesome. So, she got Shadow over there. I keep doing it again. Stop. I don't know what to do with my hands. I don't know what to do. Anyways. So, I feel a little underdressed. I'm wearing my Bullet Bill shirt, and you're wearing a flight suit with patches on it. I feel like I should have combed my hair for this.
You're good, man. You got a beard. I can't even grow a beard, so you one up me on that.
Yeah. It's some call it a gift, some call it a curse. So, well, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? So I'm assuming that's not only comfortable, but you were in the Air Force?
Yes, I was. I was in the Air National Guard Air Force of Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Good old Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
So what made you decide to go with that?
Wait, with like Oklahoma, or because I was born there?
No. I mean, okay. So you were born in Oklahoma, but what made you the Air National Guard? What made you like when you were going out and you were like Air Force, Marine Corps, Navy, Army? What made you choose the Air Guard? What was the selling point for it?
Well, I guess like at the very, very beginning, I was in college actually still when I decided to actually be in the military. So I actually was, believe it or not, I was like actually in the ROTC program at the university I was at. Mm-hmm. So I was planning to go in as an officer, but yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I was, but I changed my mind because
smart man.
I'm not saying it's not bad to go that way. It's great that people do it, but I just felt that instead I should probably start from the very beginning, because I've noticed that a lot of people who started from the very bottom knew what they were doing. Not to be mean to some people,
sure,
but also a little bit more respected, and it's just different. You're not looked at, oh, you're the new first lieutenant, fresh out of cadet school.
Sure.
But instead you're like, oh, he's a non-commissioned officer, or if he goes and becomes an officer or so. Mm-hmm. But we called them start from the beginning.
we called them Mustangs in the Marine Corps. So I don't know if it's the same, but that sounds a lot cooler than a butter bar, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, we actually call them the butter bar. Yeah.
Yeah. So cool. So you decided not to join the dark side. You decided to, work hard like everybody else. So you were in the ROTC program. Was that an Air Force ROTC? Is that how you made that jump to like ROTC into the Guard?
Yeah, definitely. I did Air Force ROTC. I liked it a lot. I had my own element, which is I my own flight, my own squadron, as you would say.
Okay.
Like we'd march around and stuff, we'd do activities and whatnot. And then I just decided one day after taking the test, I was like, that wasn't that hard of a test. But then I was like, maybe I should start from the very beginning. And I was like, so I can get more experience. I just don't want to jump into it and thinking that I know everything,
sure.
Which I don't. I want to say no one knows everything. We learn something from everybody. I even learned today, especially at work, all the time, every day. So, so I decided to go enlisted, and I was like, I'm going to stick with Air Force. I guess kind of the reason I didn't want to go Navy is one, I definitely cannot swim. I can float. I can maybe like dog paddle. That's as fast as I could go. So I probably wouldn't pass their PT test.
Yeah, I met a
Marines. I ain't got no muscles. Maybe
yo. On my channel, people have to pay for a flex. So put that away. Like, you're giving it away for free. Like there's a legit points thing in the bottom where you got to pay for it.
I'm
So
so cheap sometimes.
you're giving it out for free. Come on, man. Know your worth. You know your worth. It's
Thank
like
you. Thank
it's
you.
like 1,000,000 channel points. So put them things away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So
Uh,
yeah, that's my choices.
okay. So you joined the guard, air guard.
Mhm.
When? What year was this?
You know, that's a good question because I'm really bad with dates.
Uh-oh.
So I want to say it was 2002, but it might
2002.
have been 2008
When did you
because
graduate high
I
school?
graduated 2008. So maybe 2006 or
2006.
2010.
Oh,
I don't know.
those
I'm
are
really
big.
bad with dates. My
Well,
ADHD kicks in sometimes.
2002, 2006, 2008, and
Lots of
they're
numbers.
they're that's a big spread in between
I
there.
know.
Okay, let's start with this. When did you graduate high school?
2008.
2008.
I
Okay.
didn't.
How long after you graduated high school did you join the Air Guard? So that rules
Probably
out
two or three,
2002.
2 or 3 years.
Okay, so
Thanks
let's
for
go with
helping with my math.
yeah. I get you, man. Let's go roughly about 2010. So you did so you
Oh no,
graduated
that's right. 2011, because
2000,
I my
2011. Okay.
discharge date was 2017.
Hey,
That makes more
okay.
sense.
That was going to be my
6
next
years.
question. You did,
My bad.
6 years. So 2011 to 2000, excuse me, 17. All right, take us back to basic. So I should write these
Basic
down. It's
flight
basic, right?
school. I actually did go to flight school.
We
Basic.
talked about it earlier. That's why it was like in my mind. So basic. Take me to basic.
All right.
You're
Basic.
standing
All
there.
right.
You're going to basic. What's like if you can remember back? What's going through your mind? Are you nervous? Are you scared? Are you what is Shadow thinking at this point?
What is Z Shadow
Z
thinking?
Shadow.
Man.
Sorry, Z Shadow. What is Z Shadow thinking at this point?
So yeah, I remember when I got into the plane, I was very excited. I got to San Antonio, where Lackland Air Force Base is.
Mhm.
And I got out of the aircraft, going into like the lobby and everything. And I'm like, oh, walking with all my stuff. I was like seeing people with uniform. I was like, sir, where do I go for this? Or he's like, what? And I'm like, where do I go for this? And then immediately he was like, what did you say to me, Evan? I'm like, what? I know.
Yeah.
What? And then he's like, get in line. And he like pointed over there, and there's like a lot of people like at attention, like in the airport, just staring forward, like in a line. And I'm
Yeah.
like, and then they start screaming at you until you start moving, like three MTI MTIs, TIs,
Yeah.
and then it's just like I don't know what to do. So like going in circles, then you run over to the line, and I'm at attention the entire time. I'm
Mhm.
like, am I at the right place? Am I going to the right place? I have no idea.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, I'm in a bus. Like for all I know, I could be taken out somewhere, in the
Yeah.
dark.
Uh-oh.
I arrived to Lackland Air Force Base.
Yeah.
Like the bus ride wasn't that bad because a lot of people were in there were like, yeah, this is cool, this is awesome. They're throwing stuff around because there's no instructor in there. But the moment we got on Lackland Air Force Base, the instructor got on to the bus and was like, get off the bus, get off the bus. And people were like trying to get off the bus. They're like, what are you doing? And
Yeah.
like it's like people don't know what to do sometimes. And like, he
Yeah.
said, get off the bus, let's get off the bus. So we
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
run and get off the bus. We're at attention. And
Yeah.
then we're just standing. Like it's the military is a lot of stand and wait, man.
Hurry up and wait. Yeah.
Hurry
Absolutely.
up and wait,
Yeah.
yeah.
Definitely.
All the time.
Yeah. Absolutely. So you're
Yeah.
at Lackland. You're freaking out. Like what's going on? Like, are you like, I regret this? I should have stayed in college, or are you like, yo, this is for me right here? Can you remember what's going on through your mind here?
I don't ever felt like I ever regretted it.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I never thought it would be the way it was.
Mhm.
That's for sure.
So did you think it was going to be easier, harder? Like,
I think, I think it could have been a little bit harder.
okay.
But
Okay.
it wasn't easy. I'd probably say it was like in between for me.
Okay. Okay. You were expecting some things, but not enough, but not others. But it wasn't like it didn't push you to your limits, I guess.
No, I want to say it did. It did at times.
Okay.
Certain things.
Okay.
And it pushed a lot of other people who were there as well to their limits, because not my entire flight didn't graduate. Not some of them actually washed out, I guess you could
Recycle?
say.
Oh, they
But
dropped out,
there were
or they dropped them out? Or
some were dropped out, some were recycled.
okay,
But
okay.
yeah,
Yeah, we didn't.
I would like
Oh, go ahead. No, continue.
I would like to say I'm like the model airman, but I wasn't. Because
No,
like
I mean,
not but 2 days after, I was immediately sick. And that's probably because I was exposed to everyone from around the United States. I was immediately sick. I
yeah.
got sent to the ER.
Hmm. Oh,
And I was like 103-degree fever, and I just didn't feel good. But the weird thing is, like, I was like, everyone was talking about being recycled, being held back, and after I got out of the ER, I was like bawling my eyes out,
hmm, hmm.
and the instructor was like, "Why the are you crying?" And I'm like, "Because I'm gonna be recycled, and you don't want me here." And he's like, "Dude, you're just gonna go back. Don't worry." And then I was like,
Yeah,
"Okay." And so finally, they throw me back in there, and then I'm not in the same flight that I'm in, and I'm a little confused. But I was in the medical flight,
yeah,
so I was waking to like in the morning with people in crutches and everything standing at attention,
yeah.
and I was like, um, okay. And everyone in that flight was like, yeah, we've gone recycled like 3 to 4 times.
Ooh,
And I'm like, good God. I was like, I do not want to be here. That's like my whole flight that I started with 2 days ago
jeez.
is going to graduate without me. And I'm like, I just started. It's messed up.
Oh man.
But
Yeah.
luckily I actually got out of there. So
Yeah. Yeah. Some people don't. It's rough sometimes.
it is.
I was in a very similar situation, but we'll get to that when. Oh, who did I say? General Mattis. When General Mattis does my interview, we'll get to
Oh,
that. I feel you on that one. I was an MRP for a while, the Medical Rehabilitation Platoon in the Marine
mm,
Corps. So, but
nice.
yeah, it's rough. Like watching your class graduate, it's rough sometimes because you're like,
Mm,
that's
yeah.
I should be there. Like I know that guy.
I
I
had a nickname.
oh
Did you?
yeah, but it's not very appropriate for mixed company.
Uh,
I'm not sure who's in the chat,
Mine,
so
I'll let you know. My
oh
my nickname was broken. Although that sounds kind of sad.
yeah, I got that
Airman
was kind of
broken.
my nickname too. Is well kind of it was broke dick.
Oh.
I had a hernia and I had to get surgery,
Oh,
so they were like oh you broke your dick like that that type of, like I was like no that's not what happened, but like because I had to have ingroinal surgery,
mhm.
and
Oh no,
so
man.
it was like yeah oh here comes broke dick, and it's like well no like I didn't break my dick, like that's not what happened, but anyways yeah so I feel you like
Okay.
it's very similar, it's very weird, but so okay you're in boot camp or
All
basic.
right.
You went. How long were you in? What was the platoon called, or the
Like,
squadron, or no? I'm talking
uh,
about when you were with the medical.
oh, it was the the medical flight.
Okay. How long were
Which is
you?
weird if they say that.
Yeah. How
Oh,
long
how
were
long was I
you?
in
Yeah.
there?
How long were you there?
Not even a week. I was
Okay.
just there for
Okay.
maybe 4 days, but it felt like forever because like you'd go outside, stand at attention, and like the entire day, all you did was sweep the barracks.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is dumb. And then like the TIs would come up to you and they'd be like, "What are you doing? Get down, give me 50." And I'd be like, "What the hell?" Like then you're just like doing push-ups,
Yeah.
sit-ups, push-ups, sit-ups, like until you're like you can't even like do a push-up. You're just like literally just like a
Yeah.
flopping fish. Like
Yeah.
they just definitely they want to wear you out.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they're breaking you down so they can build you back up. And I get
Absolutely.
that. It's crazy.
That's
And
what
but yeah,
the military does. Every boot camp, basic, whatever you want to call it. That's what they do. Is they strip away everything from you as a civilian, and they build you up to whatever level of the military you're at, because different
I
branches
definitely.
require different like strictness, different types of obeying orders at the drop of a hat type stuff. So
Yeah.
they break you down in every branch. They make you feel like they don't make you feel like a person anymore. They make you feel like part of it's weird, like part of the military. And that's why I feel
Yeah.
like a lot of branches automatically National Guard. I was in the Marine Corps. Different times. I went in 2005, 2010. You know, like I was out by the time. I mean, you were still in high school when I was deploying in Iraq. And but I mean, at the same time, like you and I have a bond that is different than like myself and some civilians, because like you haven't gone through what I've gone through, or I haven't gone through what you've gone through, but we were both part of America's, like the America's Gun Club type stuff. Like we were both part of a yeah, we were both part of like America's fraternity, and which is the military, which like not it's a very exclusive club, and we're both members of it, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like I always feel like regardless of what you did or what branch or whatever, like last week we did a Wolf, Dub the Wolf. He's in the Coast Guard, you know? I didn't realize how badass the Coast Guard was till I started looking up how badass the Coast Guard was, you know? Like, and I'm sure I'm going to have a newfound respect for the Air Guard after this, you know? Because you only hear little stuff like, I make fun of the Coast Guard and the Air Guard and, well, every branch, because, you know, Marine Corps up here.
We all got to make fun of each other.
Yeah, but it's like...
Put one of us down and we're all there to fight each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's what I was going to get at, you know? Like, we've earned that right to make fun of each other because we know you've been through the struggle. Regardless of what intensity it was, you've been through that struggle that we all have, that the rest of us have been through.
Definitely agree.
So you spent a couple days in the medical flight, then you went to a brand new flight. And how long was your basic?
It's either 8. I think it's 8.5 for me, but I actually went back to the same flight.
Oh, you went back to the same flight.
Yeah.
Oh.
They were like, well, they're still in the like beginnings. You're probably gonna miss a couple classes, but if you're airman material, you're gonna catch up. And I was like, of course, I'm airman material. You know.
Yeah.
I can do it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. Yeah. Oh, so you went back to the same flight. So nothing really. So you went through basic. You got a vacation for a few days in basic, and then got to go right back in while everybody else was like exhausted.
Yeah, at the very beginning. Yeah.
Oh man.
Some of them actually didn't like me because of that.
Yeah, I could see why.
Yeah. and I had to go to checkups with the doc. So like when they went and did something, they were like, "Oh, there goes Broken to his appointment," and I'm like, "They're making me, man. Like I can't not go because if I, it's all like law. You know, they could get sued for people
absolutely.
And stuff, so.
Well, they've got to take care of you. Too. they've made an investment in you financially.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So they have to like make sure that you're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going through basic. What was the most difficult part for you? So when you look back on it, you're like, I wish I would have been more prepared for this.
I think one of the most difficult things was when there's this week called Beast Week.
Beast?
Yeah, Beast Week.
So Air Force and Beast. Okay.
Air Force Beast Week. Yeah, I forget if it's the 4th or 6th week, but anyways, Beast Week is where you go and basically they simulate an entire deployment for like a week. And you're out in your headquarters. There's people standing guard. You switch. And they give you like responsibilities. I was SABC monitor.
What's
self-aid buddy care?
Okay.
Self-aid buddy care. Pretty much the medic.
Sure.
And I had to my responsibility was to teach everyone in my flight or in my element. That had to take care of people medically since I was going to be in the medical field. But the hard part was people who are like twice the size as me. You know, I'm like 5'9". I guess I'm kind of more than average, but there's a lot of people in the Air Force that are pretty tall and they're like 6 foot and everything. So I'm like this little guy trying to teach this guy something, and he's like throwing the mannequin around and stuff and whatever and making fun of it. And, at that point, I never thought I would be pissed off at someone so much that was taller than me. Sure. I was so pissed because I was like, you're doing this and you're not learning it. And if we're going to go out there and you're not able to take care of someone or pick me up or pick even yourself up. You know, you have no respect at all. And like I started to get into it. We actually almost I pushed him, he pushed me, and then like we almost about to start a fight.
Yo.
But yeah, that was one of the hardest times. I guess I never felt that much anger towards someone not caring about someone who fights for our country.
Well, I mean,
So
you're in a position where you're taking it serious and they're not.
mhm.
You know, it's very
Oh yeah.
frustrating. So contrary to popular belief, I'm not 5 feet tall. Even though that's what the thing is. People say I'm 5 feet tall, but we used to do McMap, Marine Corps Martial Arts Program, and
Uh-huh.
guys wouldn't take it serious. And I have a background in boxing and amateur wrestling and MMA. So when people would
Ooh.
joke around at McMap, I also eventually then started getting into the McMap instructor programs. And so I'm 6'4". I'm like at that point in time I'm like 219 because max weight in the Marine Corps at 6'4" is 220. So
Wow.
I pushed the weight every time because like I could put my fingers in between my ribs. I was like, this is disgusting. Like I'd like a cheeseburger, please. And and people would take it as a joke, and then it's like, all right, well, show me what you know, and then you end up embarrassing them, and it's like, well, like this is this can save your life sometimes,
Yeah.
regardless of what Gamir says. But I mean, if you take it seriously, you can learn a lot from it, and yeah, some of the stuff is basic, but you take it more serious, and you never know how it can come in handy sometimes, and it really upsets you too, because if I'm doing this and I'm taking it serious, why aren't you doing the same thing? Because
Yeah.
if we get into a situation where we have to save each other's lives, and I'm prepared to save your life, but you're not prepared to save my life, we're both going out together. Like I don't,
Yeah.
yeah,
Gotta
I don't
have
care.
that trust in each other.
Absolutely, you should have
You'd
trust
be
in people
afraid
to have your six.
when you're six. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I
Hmm.
get the feeling. I just I mean, because I'm a bigger guy, when I usually said something, like people would be like, "Oh, okay," like I didn't have that problem of like, because I would ask, like nicely or whatever, kind of nicely, and then I would be like, "Yo, you're gonna do this regardless if you want to or not. Like, you're gonna pay attention regardless." And most
Your
people were
tone
like,
changed.
"Oh, yeah," and it kind of so I didn't have the same kind of struggles, but like I feel that sentiment of we need to take this serious because like yeah, there's times to joke around, but like while you're learning, buddy aid, you're learning how to do a sucking chest wound. You need to learn how to do
Hmm.
this because
Occlusive dressing.
odds are, my man, yeah. Odds are in the future this could probably potentially save somebody's life. And if you're fucking around and then you're like, oh shit, what did I learn in basic? Like, oh, I can't remember. This guy's gonna die because I didn't fucking pay attention. It's like
Yeah.
it's frustrating. It's very frustrating. So I feel you, man. I feel you. So you almost got in a fight.
Hmm.
Because what other interesting stories happened during basic
Have you ever heard of gargling? Gargoyling?
gargoyling? No, but I can't
Yeah.
wait to find out what it is.
God, I don't know why they did this, but man, every okay. So after going out, working out, whatever doing, coming back in, we're going out on the shower, like all in one line, hitting each freaking shower head. Like, oh, this shower head has to get wet. The next one's shower head to put soap on your head. The next one for your body. It's like a freaking rotation of showering, right?
Sure, sure.
And then we're done, and then we all go to our bed. But the thing is we had to like make sure that our uniforms were ready for the next day. And the thing, I don't know, I can't forget I forgot who it was, but it was this one airman who just decided to do it, and it caught on with everyone. I never did it because I thought it was stupid, but they would hide inside the lockers of just some random airman completely butt naked,
That's
and like without you knowing, you'd go in there just to open up your locker, and then there's this naked guy just right in front of you, and like, ah, you being gargoyled. And, like they try to jump on you and chase you, and then you're like, what the hell? Yeah. And I was like, I have no idea what that was about. I'm like,
Yeah.
makes no sense.
Yeah.
But it happened. And I was like, okay, I hope I never get gargoyled because I'm definitely gonna punch somebody and I'm gonna get sent somewhere because like I don't know.
You better watch your
But
closets from now
no,
on. I feel like you're
yeah.
gonna get gargoyled like
Yeah.
sooner or later. I feel like Sneaky Gingy's gonna find some way to gargoyle you.
He would too. I know it. Sneaky
Absolutely,
Jim
Doc
Sneaky
would
Jim.
definitely gargoyle you. Doc, I'm gonna get you. I'll gargoyle you one of these days somehow, some way, shape, or form.
Oh
But
man.
yeah, cool. Gargoyling. I didn't know that term existed, but now I do, and my life will never be the same.
Yeah. It's probably just
Okay.
the Air Force thing.
Yeah. I don't know. We did a lot of stuff that is not okay nowadays. During boot camp. During boot camp, we excuse me. We when we would take showers, it would be like 4 guys to one shower head.
Dang.
Yeah, you didn't play around. It was like wash your
It's a lot faster
left
than
armpit,
us.
wash your right armpit. You know, like we didn't.
You shower each other?
Yeah, the entire platoon showered at one time, and the drill instructors would stand there and they'd be like, wash your left armpit. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you're done." And that would be like your left armpit, like, and that's how you would wash your body. And you would hope that your drill instructor said wash your face before he said wash your balls. So you would hope, because there are sometimes, you
Yeah.
know, depending on how your platoon acted that day, like it was the other way around, and you'd have a washcloth.
Mhm.
Everybody had a washcloth, so you were hoping it would go face first instead of yeah.
I can't even imagine that.
Yeah, like I said, different struggles. Every branch has different struggles, and you were hoping that it was a face before balls struggle that day.
Mm.
Don't clip that out of context, please don't. But yeah. So okay. So what else? What you got? Any more stories from basic here?
I just remembered another one. Did you guys do tear gas? We did tear gas.
We
I
sure
feel like
did.
everybody did tear gas.
Gas chamber,
The
absolutely.
gas chamber. Oh yeah, putting
Yeah.
on your mop 4,
Yeah.
jumping in there and ripping off your mask and everything, and trying to call what was my call in? I was like
No, we were in camis. We didn't get
trainee. Oh, you didn't even get mop
we
4?
got a gas
there?
mask, and we were in our camis.
Ooh.
Yeah.
No, but we went in there and then we stripped.
No, we were just in camis, and we had
then you just went all the way in there. Okay.
we had our gas mask on our pouch, in a pouch on our hip, and then we all lined up in there, and they popped it, and they were like gas, 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 and yeah.
Well then,
Yeah, we didn't get any gear.
we got some luxury treatment then.
Well, different struggles. We all struggled, but at different levels, you know.
Yeah. Well, the story for that is I was like,
Yeah.
after reporting in, obviously you inhale all that tear gas, and I couldn't see anything.
Sure.
Coming out of my nose.
Yeah.
And I tried to blow it or whatnot. And when I swung my head to the right, the wind was going against me. And so this big, long, spaghetti snot just went back into my face. And I was like, oh, God, great. And I can't even see anything. And then the person behind me was like, dude, is that your snot? And I'm like, did I get you? He's like, what the hell, man? And I'm like, I'm sorry, but I'm like, getting yelled at because I don't know where I'm walking. So you see like a full line walking this way, and I'm like walking away on my own.
Yeah.
Well, that happened to me a lot in marching too. Like I was so tired that they'd say left face and I go right face, and I'm like marching by myself.
One of those dudes, huh?
They call us to attention. I know. They call us to attention and to stop. And I open my eyes, and then there was nobody around, and I was like, I'm gonna get shitted on right now.
Yeah.
And sure enough, I was taken down to the ground. Good times, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you're the guy that everybody's like, God, please don't get him in my platoon. And next thing you know, you're marching and you hear the drill instructor like, holy fuck, and you turn around and there's a recruit going the other direction. And yeah, good times though, good stories though, good. It brings back a lot of good memories. But I mean, like whatever, like people get so exhausted.
Mm.
There were people in boot camp who they got so tired they like fell asleep in the chow hall in their food type stuff. She couldn't sleep, and
You,
then you'd sit down and you'd be like relaxing. You'd start eating food, and then you just see somebody like face plant right into oatmeal
yeah,
or whatever. It happens. It happens. It is it's a struggle. It's a struggle for real, regardless of what branch you're in.
I did have to fill a sandbag with a spoon once.
A sandbag with a spoon.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
that was
in basic.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
please share the story. I really have to know why you had to fill a sandbag with a spoon.
Uh, well, okay, so I was tired in my defense. Anyways, I go out there and we have like cleaning duties or whatever,
Sure.
and I'm cleaning whatnot. But I didn't realize that I had my CAC card out in front of my uniform.
Your cat card?
CAC card.
CAC. What is
I forget what it stands for, but it's our military card with
yeah,
like the chip in it that
yeah.
you put in the computer or whatnot.
CAC?
Yeah.
I thought it was CA, or I thought it was CAT.
No, it's CAC for us. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's CAC for us because I've always
CAC.
called it CAC.
Yeah. I don't know. Look.
Right. So I had my CAC card out.
Common access
There
card.
we go. Thank you.
My man. Yo, my man.
All right.
I don't know.
Thank you for that.
Anyways, I didn't do special stuff in the Marine Corps. So.
Not CAC card.
Yeah. CAC.
Oh, but anyways, I had it out.
Uh-oh.
So I had that out, but on top of that, you could also see my license out and like underneath it. So I'm like sleeping away, and this TI just comes running up to me. He's like, "So, airman?" I was like, "Yeah," or well, I didn't say yeah. I obviously reported it, but I was like, "Yes, sir. Trainee so and so reports as ordered." And he's like, "So you live in so and so?" He said my address. He said my full name. I was like, how does this guy know everything about me? I was like
yeah.
freaking out.
That's creepy.
And,
yeah.
And he's like, look down. And I look down and I'm like, oh, great. And I'm like, he's like, yeah. He's like, since you don't like wearing the uniform the proper way, why don't we just turn everything inside out? And I'm like, oh, great. And so he ordered me to turn the uniform inside out completely.
Yeah.
And then my hat was like, what kind of style is that? Like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Okay.
Style, backwards.
Yeah.
And then he's like, drop down, give me 50 and whatnot. And then I was like, if I don't come back here and you're not in this modified uniform, I'm going to give you hell. And I'm like, great. And so then I continue to sweep with my modified uniform.
Yeah.
And then the commander of the squadron just happens to walk out. And that's when it was even worse. He just ran up to me, started screaming, and he's like, put it back together if you don't like to wear it. Then I'm gonna teach you something. And then like the next day I was just like,
yeah.
I was just feeling a sandbag with a spoon. And
That's
everyone's
rough.
just looking at me like, damn. And I'm like, it's like small little mistakes like that. You don't even notice them.
That's fun though.
In there.
Those are good memories. Good memories for sure. Speaking of good memories, so you shared like, I don't know, 700 pictures with me. Let's go ahead and take a look at this one. This, I'm assuming, is yourself and your parents at graduation?
Yeah.
I know we're on a little bit of a delay here. Let me shrink this down a little bit. So, what a great picture. If I do say so myself. So this picture is being taken. Can you think back? What's going through your mind when this picture was happening right here? Let's move it here. So I'm assuming this is your mother and father.
Yeah, that's my mom.
Yeah,
it's my mama.
You don't have any hair now. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, I decided to share. I usually spike it, but So what was going through my mind is like I achieved something that I never thought I could possibly do.
Sure.
The first person in my family to actually join the military. My family is actually not even from the United States. My mom and dad met in Peru in the capital of Lima, South America.
Yo, man, that's awesome.
So I'm Peruvian.
Yeah.
And they migrated here legally.
Yeah. Sure. The judgment here.
Yeah. um, and I don't know. I just felt proud of myself that I've accomplished something because all my entire life I've been indecisive, not knowing what to do, the
Hmm.
direction of where I wanted to go, and the military broke me apart and built me back together to this one person that I am today.
Yeah.
Um, in addition, I have other things in my life that have shaped me the way that I am today too. But this was the beginning of who I would become, where
Yeah.
I am now in the
Yo, man,
future.
we're at the beginning of this. You don't start crying now. Like you start crying, I start crying. Like I gotta pause. I have to pause this whole thing. Like yo, like
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. You did a lot of good stuff, and we'll get into that more. But like yo,
Likewise,
you
man.
can't start doing that right now. All right, so you let me. I'm assuming this came semi after. Uh, Look at this picture, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this picture.
Yeah.
I'm not sure when this
Oh,
came out, but this
I think,
boy, look at this.
dude. I know, tasty.
I
uh, that was actually right. I want to say at the beginning towards flight school.
Okay, okay. I'm not. You sent me so many pictures. I don't know what's what. So
Oh, you're good.
I saw this and I was like, yo,
I
this
love
is
that hat.
probably when he was like at the beginning of his career where he was like, yo, I'm sexy and I know it. I'm gonna take pictures from every angle. We all did it. We all did it. We all have pictures of
Mhm.
like we all have this type of picture right here. This type of picture, we all have it. And if you don't have it, you're fucking lying. Don't don't lie about it. So this was right after tech school, you said?
No, no, it's oh yeah, right after tech school, and then I went to flight school. Sorry, you're right.
Okay.
I blurred it a little bit too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We for namesake stuff.
Yeah.
So all right, so you graduated basic. Are you an E1 at this point?
And no, I actually started as an E3.
My man, sir.
Yeah.
Yo, E3 out of tech
Yeah.
school or out of basic. Jeez.
Basic, yeah. It's because I had some college credit and they
Yeah.
took that into consideration. And when I took the ASVAB, I forget what score I got, but that's not important. They offered
Yeah,
me the job
yeah.
as air medical evacuation technician,
Sure,
and I
sure.
told them sure, and they said we'll give you this on top of it, and I was like,
Okay,
okay,
okay.
let's do it.
So okay, so you went basic E3. Jeez. Wow.
Mhm. But
So
at
you
basic, I wasn't E3. Out of basic, I was.
out of basic was. Okay.
Everyone's a trainee in basic.
Yeah, yeah. Y'all
But
get
yeah.
promoted at different times. I got meritorious promoted a, a few times, so I get the sentiment. Like I said, that's a different time and place. General Mattis, I'm waiting for you, sir. Sir. I mean, I didn't mean to point at you, sir. Sorry. He'll probably never see this. But anyways, okay, so you went from basic to your tech school. Is that what's next?
Mhm.
Okay. What'd you tech school? Break that down for me.
Oh,
What's tech school?
Fort Sam Houston,
Fort
Texas.
Sam Houston. Okay. And
Yeah.
what goes on in a so is tech school based off your MOS or your job? Is that where you go,
Um.
or does everybody go to the same tech school?
It's well for the Air Force AFSC. Um.
AFSC. Okay. I probably
Yeah.
won't remember that the
It's
next
like
time I do it.
Air Force something code.
Yeah,
Oh
it's for
man,
your
I'm
schooling.
messing up the acronyms. There's too many acronyms these days, especially at the job that I'm working at. Oh, it gets
Yeah,
me confused.
absolutely.
But yeah, I went to class actually with corpsmen, Navy corpsmen, through EMT training,
Okay.
and that lasted how many months? 9 months, I think.
Oh wow, it's a big school.
Uh,
It's a long school.
yeah. Um, we had to. I think not everybody graduated too. Like, if you don't make it like the first 2 rounds, then at that moment they decide to just swap your job because you're not. I guess they believe you're not going to make it.
Hmm. Hmm.
Not everyone passes the EMT course. You have to pass the EMT national registration
Okay. Okay.
test. Uh, so I mean, I've had some friends that didn't make it the first time, but passed the same time, and some that didn't make it.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean that that job is the only thing you had in the Air Force. Like they'll cross train you to something else. You're still a value, and
Yeah.
they know that you could fit somewhere else. Um,
Yeah.
but the thing that I learned over there is the camaraderie between the different branches. It's like the army was there as well, but they never actually went to class with us. They had it separately. Um, but we
Okay.
definitely went to class with the Navy people, and we did PT with the Navy people. We just didn't do the swimming part, but
Mhm.
we did the running and the push-ups and whatnot. I really liked the Navy PT's uniform though. It's
The
like
Navy's Pete.
yellow, yeah,
It's gross.
yellow shirt.
That's gross. Ugh.
Anyways, but
Oh.
we're all there. I was a element leader
Mhm.
actually in tech school, so I had like a green rope around my uniform, and
Okay.
I'd march people to class.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
So like
like
a squad leader or
yeah,
like
I
something like
was
that.
I was a flight leader, but sometimes I would lead the squad. We'd all take turns. So they'd say like flight squadron hood, like,
You
and
call
then we'd all
cadence?
get attention. Yeah, cadence all together.
Yo, you want to
I'd call
call
cadence and
you want to call some cadence right now?
what was
I don't
that?
want to
Trying to remember the
I don't want to
song. It's
put you on the
like
spot, but I mean like, if you're throwing it
it's
out there.
like I think I'm trying to think. Remember the song? It's like left your left, right, left your right, your left. You got it. Left your left, right, left right, your left. You got it. Left, right, your left. Pump it up. Your left, right, your left. Medics, huh? And then it
My
just
man.
go like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's a
yeah.
good song.
That's good. Absolutely. Uh
Yeah.
all right, so you're in so in school here, what's the kind of stuff that you're learning how to do here? What like take us through. I know every day in the schooling's not the same because you're learning new things every single day, but like so you get up PT in the morning
Yeah.
and then
Five in the morning. Yeah.
okay, then you come back, shower,
Mm-hmm.
get your clothes ready for the day and then head off to class.
Yep.
What are some of the stuff that you guys had to learn and they went through in these classes? Kind of
Um,
break it down for us.
So I guess in a way it's kind of like broke down in sections. I remember like learning like BSI is my scene safe. Meaning like when you go into a contingency kind of area, you make sure your scene is safe first before you even provide care.
Mhm.
You'd be like a regular EMT does here actually in the civilian world. You go up, check for consciousness, pulse, breathing. If there's any equal chest rise and fall, you call for help. You have someone get the AED or oxygen or whatnot.
Okay.
So we learned basic stuff like that. We also learned like animal. Wow. I mean, I guess we are animal.
Animal. Okay.
Uh, but anatomy is what I meant to say.
Sure.
Human anatomy,
Yes.
uh, all that kind of stuff. We learn how to like insert IVs into each other, by the way, which they don't do here in the civilian world, which I find awesome and fun.
Yeah.
I don't mind anyone practicing needles on me. So like if you're in the Minnesota area and want to learn some nursing stuff, we can do it. Just let me know.
Okay. Okay. I
I
used
love
to.
teaching too. Yeah.
I enjoyed getting some IVs from the docs after a
Mhm.
heavy night of drinking.
Oh yeah, hydration. Yeah.
Yeah. I could just chill back. I could just lay back, and then doc would stick you, and then you just be like, oh, that's the spot. Oh yeah, that's good.
Hmm.
Then he'd put the IV
Good
in you
times.
after.
Yeah, we
Oh
definitely did that after a night of drinking.
yeah.
That's like
Uh,
every weekend.
yeah, absolutely. So I'm just looking. When is this? I'm trying to place stuff. When is this? Is this right around the same time? This picture. There's you
Yeah,
right around. This is
that's tech school.
tech school.
Yeah,
All right. Yeah. So this is you in tech school.
yeah.
Look at that hunk of man meat right there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I missed that watch, the Casio watch. That's like the cheapest thing, but the most reliable thing ever.
Yeah. It lasts forever. They have them on every
I
base.
know,
Yeah.
I know.
I think I still have mine from boot camp, and I think it still runs. Last time I checked it,
Nice.
I think it still runs. So this is you in tech school. So you're learning
Mhm.
how to do IVs. You're doing uh, what else are you doing here in tech school? You're doing IVs. You're
Learning how to do IVs, EMT stuff.
yeah.
I mean, I also was a white rope, which is uh, it's like a religious kind of thing. So I went to church every Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So I would kind of march a squadron or element to church every Sunday. So I
Mm-hmm.
did that.
Okay.
Um, Mostly it was just really to graduate past the EMT course, and once you got past the EMT course, then you're done with it. You graduate. You go back home, which for me was Oklahoma, the Air National Guard base, uh, which is by the airport, Will Rogers Airport. But I also flew out of like to
Mm-hmm.
Air Force Base
Okay.
sometimes. So after that, then came flight school, and then also you had like water survival, and then what's it called? Oh my gosh, ECAC, evade, capture, and we had these acronyms. Basically trying not to get captured kind of course thing, and
Sure.
that's when they throw you out, into the areas of the darkness, and you have to learn how to get out of handcuffs in the dark or whatnot and get beat up and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, see, National Guard's on some shit right there.
Yeah. I mean, we did a lot of stuff with the active duty. Every time I went out on some of the stuff that we needed to do, it was on active duty orders.
Yeah.
And then I would come back out and I'd be, what they like to call weekend warrior.
Yeah. Yeah. I think every branch has
Yeah.
a version of the Weekend
Seer,
Warrior. Yeah.
exactly.
Seer skill.
Survival,
Yeah.
evade, resistance. I like this guy. Who's this guy?
Yeah.
Vermeer Gaming.
Yeah. Give
What's
me your
up,
game.
man?
Yeah. There's Marine. We
Whoop, whoop.
hopefully we'll be able to get him on the spotlight here coming up.
For sure.
We've got a bunch of people coming up, but right now it's not about him. I mean, thanks for the useful information, but it's not about him. It's about you. So you did some.
He's got my 6.
Yeah, absolutely. We all do around here. We all got each other 6. That's the whole point of shameless plug. VOP is all about veterans, the veteran observation post, taking care of veterans. So shameless plug. Anyways, back to it. So you did some seer training, popping out of handcuffs, learning how to stitch people up, learning how to survey a situation if you come across one. And so the white rope is you for religious purposes.
Took people to church.
To take people to church. Okay.
Yeah.
And then so you're going through school. What was the most difficult part you found about schooling? Like where did you Well, I guess where did you struggle during your schooling?
I think my most struggle was relationship kind of being so far apart sometimes.
Oh, okay. So
me studying was not. I didn't think it was that hard because I was studious, but I had so many people around me that were so focused that it helped me actually focus too.
Yeah.
And everyone's there, and everyone wants to graduate together. I mean, joining the military is it's I had a big family, honestly. Navy people there were all studying, helping each other. We would drill each other, we'd get in scenarios, and we had to say every single thing. I had memorized paragraphs of what to say of scenarios because that's what our exams were, and we had to say every word verbatim. And if we didn't, we didn't pass. And they would take us into these rooms, and we have to spit out everything verbatim, but do stuff at the same time within a certain time frame. Because if not, then obviously your patient would die.
Sure.
So the studying part, yeah, it was a lot, and it might have been difficult, but I had so much support from the airmen, the Navy corpsmen, even the Army. Even though they weren't with us, they just throw themselves in as patients sometimes, and
sure,
it'd help us out. But relationship wise, and I know this with everybody, if they're in a relationship and it's long distance, it's very difficult sometimes. So I think my most difficult thing was just the relationship being so far apart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And excuse me. So you so obviously you get through schooling.
Yeah.
Now, and you said that's 9 months. So where do you? Okay, so where do you go from schooling? You sent me a few pictures here. What was your schooling was? Is this the aerospace medicine? Is that what your schooling was? Sorry, I'm trying to look at the pictures. You sent me quite a few.
That one's actually flight school.
Okay, this is flight school, so that's coming up
That was
next.
with the Canadian.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. I'm just trying to look. You sent me a few that look kind of like official places.
Yeah.
Shoot, I can't see that. Is this? I don't think this is your schooling. People, these don't look like students. Sorry, Airlift for Life. That's not schooling.
That's actually my Oklahoma Air National Guard
Okay, cool.
squadron.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm trying to see if there's any. Just send me a bunch of pictures here. I'm trying to see if there's any from you from schooling. I'm not sure.
From flight school, if we're all in blues and I'm doing this, that's one.
All right,
That's
all
with
in blues.
my flight school buddies.
Okay, yeah. Okay, this one. Yeah, I was trying to scroll down. Here we go. Bloop. This is you guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they get all this out here. Yeah, this is So this is you during schooling, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That's flight school.
Yeah. Kind of put that there. Cool. Yeah. So
That's actually graduating. That's when we got our wings.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's not your class, right?
That's part of my class.
Okay,
Not
I was gonna
entirely.
say like, yo, this is some
Not.
small. It's some small classes.
It's actually the whole class didn't graduate either. It got smaller.
Oh wow.
The thing about, I don't know if it's just the Air Force, but the thing about the Air Force, and I'm sure in other military people, not everybody makes it out through, like you'll go through like phase 1. I think this is phase 2. You make it past phase 2, then you're pretty much done, and until you go to the survival training. But this is where also I went through like the hyperbaric chamber, where like they suck out all the oxygen in the room, and all you have is like, oh, there's actually a picture of that if you find it, of me in a pilot mask with
Okay, that's okay.
an
Yeah.
oxygen.
I know. I saw that earlier. Yeah. Well, go ahead. Tell that story. I'll pull it up right here.
All right. So basically, what happened is there's all kinds of different like signs or symptoms for uh what's it called, hypoxia. And if you don't know what that means a lack of oxygen. So what they would do is you're sitting in this room that has like clipboards behind you, and they'll suck out all the oxygen to where there's no oxygen. And once there's no oxygen, the only oxygen you have is that mask right there, the pilot mask, and they'll ask you to take it off. So you'll take it off, and then you'll just start talking. You're breathing like normal, and the test is that you're supposed to recognize when you're low of oxygen.
Yeah.
Because pilots sometimes, if there's a hole in the aircraft or like the oxygen seeping out, the oxygen cabin, the oxygen, they don't realize they're becoming hypoxic. Because for some people, it's like you get like that nice and rush kind of feeling around your body. Your body's all warm. You're getting tingly. Some people just pass out. Like it's different. And like the most rarest thing is euphoria, is what they told us. And
yeah.
So yeah, the higher the altitude you are, the more oxygen you need. So the thing was, I actually ended up having euphoria. Like I felt the warmness, I think, but I couldn't tell. But I was one of the last people to actually put on the mask, which it was scary because like, dude, they're like, if you didn't put the mask on, you probably would not have passed.
Yeah.
And I was just doing it. All I remember was like, yeah, I'm just like laughing and having a good time.
Yeah.
And they're like, airman, are you okay? I'm like, dude, I'm fine. And then like I have this like clipboard that I'm holding, and then I'm trying to do something, but I noticed that my hand couldn't touch it. So I was like, at that moment, I was like, something's not right. But I was like, yeah. And so then I was like, I think I need a gang load, which is pretty much push the buttons all the way up so I can get hyperventilated oxygen into my mask and my face. So I like tried to grab the mask and did this, and I gang loaded as fast as I could. Like, I don't know, my body was floppy, so it worked.
Yeah.
And then like the next thing I knew, and I didn't even know, I was like, all the oxygen was just like rushed into my body, and I was like, and then I started like hyperventilating. I was like, oh my god, I was not breathing, you know. And it's scary feeling, but then I was able to breathe. And I was like, yeah, if you didn't put that mask on, you would not have passed it. You would have passed out and not passed this course. And I was like,
yeah.
But that was fun,
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
but I probably would be the last person to put on a mask.
Yeah. What's a scary sensation? I had to get my lungs tested after um, because of Iraq stuff, and so we didn't do anything. I didn't get to sit in anything cool like that. I just sat in it's like a round cylinder, and they pull out the oxygen, and they put this thing in your mouth, and you just have to blow out, and that's it. And then when you try to breathe in, there's no oxygen.
Yeah.
There's no euphoric feeling. There's a terrifying feeling of there's no oxygen around you. There's a little button that you push, but like, like like I said, I'm a big guy, and like when I was sitting here, like my elbows touch the side, and I'm sitting there, and like the thing goes like kind of like right here, so like it's like a little sphere, and you're like, I get claustrophobic, and now you're gonna suck all the oxygen out. I didn't get a euphoric feeling, but that's crazy though. That's crazy. It's each their own experiences. That's nuts though.
Yeah.
I feel like most people freak out.
That was actually, I want to say that was one of my most favorite experiences ever
Yeah.
in flight school, and
Yeah.
I loved it. I learned to configure different types of aircrafts for medical purposes, like C-17s, what's it, C-130s, or is it 130, C-130J? I think they phased out the H model. Can't remember. C-21s. But the ones that our unit in Oklahoma back we would normally fly on was the KC-135s, which is like the air refueling tanks.
Okay.
And there's a picture in there somewhere, basically refueling aircrafts in flight. And it's cool because we could get the people who actually filled aircrafts were called boom operators. And they literally would lay like flat, and they would face down, and they have like kind of like have you seen like Apollo 13 or something like that? They'd have like to aim it towards the hole to make sure it connects directly into the aircraft, and then they could put the gas in.
Yeah.
So like say our aircraft gets shot and our whatever armor gets broken, then we're a fuel tank, and we blow up. That's the crazy part for sure. Yeah,
pretty scary.
But
for sure.
That was awesome. I got to handle the boomstick, but I never refueled the airplane, obviously, because I'm not qualified. But it's a great experience.
It's awesome. So you're so you went for to learn about how to basically handle a situation if people are injured and stuff like that, and then you went to flight school. That was in your flight school?
Oh, the boom operator stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, the learning the different aircrafts and stuff?
Yeah.
Configurations? Yeah. That was in flight school.
That was in flight school. Okay, so
the thing is, like, yeah, I learned a lot of medical stuff, but I had to learn electrical stuff. I had to learn oxygen stuff. And in addition to like making sure I knew how much capacity this aircraft could handle. It's different each time, because every time you fly, you switch positions. Like sometimes you could be in charge, sometimes you just be the man, like the flight. What's it called? I'm forgetting the words for it. The second airman in flight. I'm just gonna say that in charge of other things.
Okay.
But the hardest part for me was like I'm not really good with electricity and watts and amperage, but we had to learn to calculate that to make sure we didn't pull too much from the aircraft, or otherwise, or if we'd had enough. And then also, like, if there was enough oxygen on the aircraft. If not, we'd have to bring our own tank of oxygen, and that stuff is heavy. It was like 600 to 800 pounds, and you cannot carry it alone unless you're like freaking Hulk, maybe. But we always had like three people like just trying to get on the aircraft, and then you have to like tie everything down.
Yeah.
And when you're done, you have to take everything apart, and as if nothing was there.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So.
That's crazy. Yeah, stuff you kind of learn. I don't think you're necessarily like, you don't quite know what you're getting into unless you've actually done it like beforehand. So
yeah, no.
And I feel like a lot of people don't understand how, excuse me, the technicalness of, people's specific jobs. Like they don't understand all the little parts. We don't have enough oxygen. Like we've got to bring our own tanks. Like that takes a lot of time. Super heavy.
We do have our own tanks. Actually, you just remind me.
Yeah.
Like if we do have a hole in the aircraft, we have to have our own tank in case we run out of oxygen. The crazy thing though, also that I remember is we have to stay on the plane with with our patient, even if it's going down. We
Yeah.
never learned to actually parachute as flight medics.
Yeah.
So if
Makes
the plane
sense.
goes down, we go down. But it made sense to me. But I was like, but I told like when I trusted, but what if my patient wants to jump and I tell them I can't, because they're like they want to live, but
Yeah.
we tell them yeah. So I don't know. I've always thought about that. Maybe in the future, if we like, I would strap my patient if I could to
To
myself and jump with them.
yeah, to some sort of like buddy parachute type stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, what if they're a parachute instructor? They're like, I know how to do this, and you're like, well, we don't have any parachutes. Like,
Yeah, I know.
now we're going down with the
No.
ship, regardless if you
Yeah.
want to or not. We're riding this
Yeah.
bad boy to the ground.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
But we
crazy.
did learn to like maybe like emergency land, but that's about it. I don't know how to turn an aircraft on, but I
Yeah,
can maybe maneuver it a little bit.
maybe
That's about
kind of rest it so it doesn't like explode right away.
it. Yeah. But,
So, all right, so this so flight school.
mhm.
Where'd you go after that? So where did that take you? What did that turn into?
I got my wings, went back home, and then eventually I went to water survival and the oh my gosh.
Are any of these other pictures of you in flight school? Is this one? Is this school? I'm looking for ones of inside planes.
That's no, that was actually like right after everything. Um
Okay.
that was
Sorry.
just us taking pictures.
This is a
That's
random
actually
picture.
in it. That's in a KC-135.
Okay. Sorry.
So
I'm trying to look.
no, you're
I've
good.
seen a few pictures and like we talked about, like you just sent a bunch of pictures, so I'm trying
I'm
to figure
looking
out.
good.
Oh, absolutely. You look great in all these. Like hands down.
Oh, that's a C-17 with a Cadillac of the Air Force.
Okay. Is this this
I
isn't in school
forget the
either?
capacity. It's not in school. It's actually, but it's training.
Okay.
So there's always training, no matter what.
Yeah.
We got on a C-17 and just making sure that we remember how to configure a C-17 for medical purposes. It's pretty much the Cadillac of the Air Force. It's a massive hospital. The C-17 can carry also like cargo and vehicles as well, and lots of soldiers if they're going to parachute. I'm sure you or anyone that has been in the military has been at least in a C-17 once, or at least seen it.
Sure. I think I
They're
have. I think
huge.
I rode them from Kuwait. I think I rode it from Iraq to Kuwait.
Yeah.
A bunch of seats in it. I can't remember. TBI stuff. TBI traumatic
They
brain
did
injury.
was it tactical landing with the C-17?
Oops.
Well, when you're in an aircraft, obviously you want to make sure you strap everything down. That's like the number one thing, because if you
Absolutely.
don't and you have to like tactical land, say like we were flying one time and literally they'll just drop and then they'll drop and they'll drop until they reach the ground.
Yeah.
But that's to avoid enemy crossfire in the air and stuff like that. And
Okay.
boy, that feeling is I don't know.
Where your stomach drops. Yeah.
Your stomach drops and you're like floating in your chair.
Yeah. Your
Man.
stomach's like up here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Been on a
It's in my face, in my brain.
yeah. I've been on a few of those in Iraq. It's not a. It's a weird feeling. It is a weird feeling. Like you can't even shit your pants because it's all the way up here. Like yeah, that's weird. Sorry. Yeah, I got off. I get kind of way left field. If you've been there, you've been there. If you haven't, you just don't get it. That's the best way to put it. Like you could, like, because a lot of people are like, oh, in a scary situation, I shit myself. Like you can't even. It doesn't even like.
I shit my chest.
Yeah. You're gonna throw up shit. Like that's
Yeah.
All right,
man.
so you fly way off topic here. Okay, so flight school, where'd that lead to?
Water survival and
Water survival. Take us through some
Uh,
water survival stuff.
ooh,
This
water
from the guy
survival.
who says he can't swim or doesn't swim well.
I don't swim very well. I can float, so
Yeah,
I'll survive.
you're what the Marine Corps calls an iron duck.
I'll make it to land. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Like I can't. What I mean by that is I'm not like freaking. Was
Yeah.
it Michael Phelps? I can't swim,
Yeah.
like very fast. I mean, I
Yeah.
can go.
You're not a
Yeah,
swimmer. You're a
I'm
you're
not
a
professional.
yeah. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Yeah, yeah. You
Okay,
you can
so
stay afloat. You just
I'm a
you're not
floater. I'm
you're
like
not
a
a swimmer.
starfish. Um, so what I did there basically it's kind of cool because they have this facility. Man, I don't know if I'm like divulging too much information because some of that stuff's like.
I'm sure a lot of this is public information, but if you feel like it's kind of
Anyways,
worrisome,
I'll just tell you. I'm
yeah,
not in the military. I'm a veteran now, so but we'll
yeah.
find it.
Well,
So
yeah. Go ahead.
what happened was so they had this like massive pool, like Olympic sized pool. And they have like a helo replica attached to the ceiling that can come up and go down, right?
Yep. Yep.
And they also have a simulation of shower heads over the pool to mimic, a storm. And I
Sure.
kid you not, they have waves that are massive in the pool. And they'll throw you in there in a life raft, and someone has to take charge into calling orders out, like what are we gonna do, where's the flares gonna go. There will be people outside supposedly in the water to be people that we need to pick up, and we all have to like swim accordingly together, like kind of like holding each other's shoulder. It's hard to swim grabbing a person in front of you with another person grabbing behind you.
Yeah.
It's insane, and people will like push you down
Yeah.
if they're freaking out. They will push you down no matter what.
Sure.
And I don't swim very well, and I got pushed down so many times, and I'm like this, and I almost drowned when I was a lot younger.
Yeah.
So like I'd get like all this like memories back, and I'm like I'm gonna drown. But I went through that multiple times, and in a way I felt like right now I'm okay with water and everything. I'm conquered my fear unless we go like a massive long bridge, and my wife can contest to that. She knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But man, it's insane how realistic simulations can be sometimes in the military. Uh, and swimming in like these waves that are supposed to be. I couldn't even see the ends of the pool. I couldn't see the walls of the building. All I saw was the water and me going up and down, and I saw rain, and I saw a helicopter above me. Like I
Yeah.
felt like I wasn't there anymore. I felt like I was somewhere else.
Yeah.
And
It,
we'd have to climb the rope into the helicopter, or if we were in the helicopter, like we switch positions. We'd be in the helicopter, we jump down the rope, propel
yeah.
down the rope, and pick people up. Is insane. It's great training, great experience. As scary as it was also fun.
Mhm.
And like not after like a couple of weeks after that, in the same area, I think this is in Washington State. We did the evade kind of like course where they taught us how to get out of handcuffs. They taught us how to get out of zip ties, duct tape, all kinds of other things. Like, and you wouldn't even think of how to do these things. Um,
Yeah.
and we'd go back to our rooms, and the way I literally would turn off the lights in my hotel room and handcuff myself. And I told myself, if I can't do it in the dark by myself and no one to help me, I'm never going to learn how to do it.
That's kinky.
So I did it, right? I know, but I
Yeah.
did it. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
I learned
Okay.
how to do it. It's freaking awesome. And then they throw you in the area where there's actually people trying to catch you and stuff. And if you get caught, you get,
Yeah.
lots of
Absolutely.
stuff.
And that's this.
And
Is that this aerospace medicine? Is that where you? Is that where you were at this point?
no, the
Okay.
aerospace medicine, I already told you, with the Canadian flag, that was flight
Oh.
school.
Oh. Well, look. Oh,
We
okay. Well,
went we
this is the
went to flight
picture.
school with some
I
Canadians.
I thought this was coming up next. I don't. Yeah. Sorry. Short memory stuff. So I'm gonna
No,
make
you're
this
good,
just a
man.
little bit bigger so you can see his picture. You can kind of get a
Yeah.
better look at it.
I'm
Yeah.
in there
Sorry. This is a
somewhere.
first. People sent me pictures, so he sent me pictures, so we're kind of.
Yeah. I thought it'd be pretty cool to put
Yeah,
pictures.
absolutely. Well, I
Yeah.
kind of gives you a little bit of what you're talking about at the time. So,
Yeah.
and I think if
Uh,
I'm
I'm very
correct,
far right.
you're
Very,
in the back
very far top right
up here.
next to the Canadian flag.
Yeah, back here, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think it'll just be blurry. I guess kind of over here. Yeah, so that's him. Oh no, that's the wrong. I clicked on the wrong. There you go. Nice. Sorry. Yeah, I thought that was where this was, but
No, you're good, man. Oh man, that's good times too. I like miss my
all right.
schooling.
So okay, so they teach you how to break out of handcuffs, out of duct tape, out of zip ties, out of you name it. They teach you how
Hmm.
to do this. What other kind of they taught you how to the swimming, how to
Hmm.
rescue uh, people in downed helicopters, they swim in
Hmm.
the ocean type stuff. What other high speed, low drag stuff did you learn how to do here?
Mm, um, I mean, obviously, like every military, we learn how to configure or take apart your rifle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
the M6. Our rifle was the M16A2. I needed
Sure.
to do it. I think less than 2 minutes or a minute. I can't remember. But and if you didn't do it,
Take it
you'd get
apart,
washed back
or
or
take it
something.
apart
Yeah,
and put it
take it
back. Oh,
both. Take it apart, put it back
oh, okay.
together.
It's a
Yeah.
little. I was like a minute to take it apart.
So,
Like
huh.
it's a
That's pretty
little.
quick actually if you practice so much. Like, and then like if you're missing the firing pin, that one important thing,
Yeah,
it won't work at all. So,
yeah, absolutely.
uh, yeah. But the thing is, I learned all that and everything, but then I got back home and like, you have the M911. I'm like, what the hell? And so I was like, okay, so we
Okay,
only got to hold on to pistols unless I was never ever able to hold on to M16A2. So,
that's rough. You're missing out. That's rough.
mhm.
All right, so you went to your schooling here, and then so afterwards you ended up going back to good old Oklahoma, correct?
Mhm.
How now? Uh, how was that? How was it going from all this different schooling and stuff, and then going back to Oklahoma to your unit out there?
Different,
Yeah,
that's for sure.
yeah,
Active duty to um, reserve duty. What kind of reserve?
hmm
Uh, Completely different.
yeah,
Um, I kind of missed active duty, honestly.
yeah,
It kept me more focused, and I was able to when I was actually on active duty on base, I knew I had a mission, I had a goal, and that's where I was going for.
hmm
But because I have ADHD and I was indecisive when I came back home. Yes, Will Rogers Air National Guard Base, Air Guard Base. Sorry,
hmm That's where you
is
were at.
is my
Okay.
stationed area. Uh, it's just a little bit different.
hmm
So like you'd fall into partially the civilian life, and so some people would lose some of their not their skills, but their structure
Yeah,
sometimes.
they're
And there came a point where I I didn't lose my skills, but I fell out of place with the military life and my civilian life, and
mhm.
that's more of like getting more deep into like my depression kind of state in my life.
Okay, okay,
Um, so it's a little bit different.
sure, sure.
I re Oh, there was something I was gonna say. Retracking back though, one thing that I did experience back in tech school, I was in Fort Sam Houston, where I was doing training in SAMC, which is probably now called BAMC. Uh, I'm not sure.
hmm
Um, there's one point in time where I was being trained by a certain sergeant in the emergency room, uh, and for me, as a growing airman, like, oh yeah, I'm excited, I'm going to do something, and everything. And they're taking care of more than just like people in the military. They can take care of people whoever comes in from the city.
Sure. Yeah.
And one day we received uh, I get lack for better words, a criminal as a
Sure.
patient,
Sure.
but he was in what they call white houses, which means you after prison you get into a white house so that you can establish yourself into the community, um, kind of that situation.
Sure.
But because he was in that kind of rough life or whatever, gang affiliation or whatnot, that gang knew that he was out, and they pretty much boarded that entire White House and put it on fire. And so the EMT went and they picked him up. They brought him over. I was already in like geared up and ready to go, and I knew that once he gets here, we're gonna have to continue CPR uh, in order to keep him, oxygen flowing and whatnot. But uh, I guess that was one of the first things that's kind of like stuck with me in my life and kind of affected me
Mm-hmm.
was that I was ready to do something, but because I was in training or the certain sergeant felt that I wasn't capable or ready enough to do something about it, told
Mm-hmm.
me to stand down. Um, and I'm granted, I know that it's not like the model citizen or anything, but I joined because I wanted to save lives, protect lives. Um,
Yeah,
and the
absolutely.
whole reason, and that leads me to like a completely different story, but I'll probably get to that later.
Yeah.
Um, so, anyways, he told me to stand down. I was already geared up, ready to do my compressions, and I would just watch this guy pretty much from the EMT, the ambulance, not get his compressions all the way up into the room. So that time period of no oxygen pretty much could have been the end of him, which ultimately in the end it was.
Yeah,
Because he took his time to get ready
sure.
himself,
Yeah,
and I could have at least just jumped in.
yeah. That's rough.
Um,
Yeah.
and and the weird thing is like I'm ready, and there's like blood. Like it's weird because like they tried to put a chest tube in him to get some oxygen flow into him, and some other stuff because he was having pneumothorax, and I just there's blood everywhere, and he just comes out and he's like, "All right, man, let's just go ahead and just take him to the morgue," and I'm like that's it. And he's like, "Yeah, they called it," and I'm like. He's like, it didn't matter anyways. And then that's when I was like, it shocked me. And I'm like, he didn't even care. Like, I wanted to do something about it. But, you know, there's, he has maybe been through so much that he was at that point that
It's a
it didn't
little.
matter to him. It's kind of dark. I know. I'm sorry.
No, no, no.
But it's,
I totally understand you. I feel like he's kind of at that point a little desensitized to, people coming in and out, like
yeah,
because he's probably seen. It's probably isn't the first time
compa-
something like that's happened. So
compassion fatigue. Yeah.
yeah, he just kind of, like detaches himself, from his personal feelings, and he's doing a job. Like
Yeah.
it's very shitty to, like have that kind of mentality, but like at the same time, like it's not good for your mental health, to like
Hmm.
it's good to care about every patient that comes in, but like,
Yeah.
sometimes you can't save them all sometimes, like, and I feel like sometimes people step away from that. And then other times, like they step away too soon, so it's a very fine line of where you draw the line at, you got to
Yeah.
care, but you can't care too much to where, it keeps you up at night type stuff, and it's hard
Yeah.
to, each person's different when it comes to that. So you just
Yeah.
kind of have to figure out where you fall in that type of, that type of life.
I was pretty much left to clean the situation, which I felt was weird for like one of my first things.
Yeah, that's shitty.
I had to put the body onto a bed by myself, and he told me to just take it to the morgue, and I had no idea where it was, so I was pretty much walking around this entire hospital by myself with a human body,
Yeah.
and, that's like one of the times that I love hot dogs. But to smell human flesh, smell like hot dogs, gave me the most disgusting feeling in my life. I didn't eat hot dogs for the longest time.
Yeah. You don't, like, it's
It's
weird.
tough.
Yeah, yeah, it's weird, like, uh, and it's like you said, like different people, same struggle, but different levels, like, I mean, I could attest to that too as well, like the human body smells like meat. It's meat, and
Mm.
it gets cooked to a certain point. Like it smells like food. Like no shit. Like
Mm.
it smells like you could be at a restaurant, and it's very weird to say and kind of like verbally have that out loud. But unless you've experienced it, like it smells like cooked.
Yeah.
People smells like it smells like cooked meat, and it's one of those things that like unless you've experienced it, you'll like you don't know. It
Yeah.
sounds weird. It sounds very awkward, but like it's legit. Like, yeah, it smells, it smells different to different people, but like Yeah. The best way to
I just
equate it is, like it smells like
I just
cooked
knew I
meat.
never wanted to have that visual in front of me, and as well
Yeah.
as like the smell combined at the same time, because it made me sick to my stomach, because it was just hard because I had to figure out where to go in the morgue and stuff.
Yeah.
But so yeah, um, that's one thing I remember. So
Yeah.
and we were like retracked back, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
went
Absolutely.
I went back to Oklahoma Air National Guard base, where Rogers Air Force
Hmm.
Base. The I actually never been in any combat zone.
Sure.
Was never in combat
Yeah.
area. The furthest I've been was Alaska.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Alaska. So
That's interesting.
um, it
I'm
was
assuming with the air
beautiful.
guard.
Yeah,
Yeah. Uh,
it's nice. I
all
loved it.
right. Well,
Confusing though.
yeah. Yeah. So let's get to that point. So you finished your schooling. You're all done. Flight school, tech school. You're back into kind of half and half. Half military, half civilian life. What are you doing on the side at this time? Like you're working one job and doing the military every so often, every amount of hours that you have to get.
Yeah. So yeah, I was the weekend warrior. It was
Yeah.
like one weekend a month. My civilian life, dude, I was going to school. I was so many different types of majors. I was a allied health major. I was a graphic design major. I was a human nutrition dietetics major, which, by the way, I went to some cooking course as well. I like
Yeah.
to cook sometimes. I got some culinary skills myself.
Nice.
Uh,
There's
and in
showing
the end, eventually, I went to nursing school. Um,
a
Nursing
picture.
school wise, yeah, there it goes. It's right there.
Is you and
That's my wife,
yeah, that's your yeah, Mrs. Shadow
my
Falls.
other half.
Yeah.
Solidity in our chat if you want to know.
Yeah.
She's watching the stream.
Yeah. That's cute. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good. Good for you,
So
man.
that
Uh,
that's us cooking dinner for my mom for her birthday, I think,
oh,
if I
that's
remember
adorable.
correctly.
Yeah. Good
Yeah.
for you, man. Uh,
Thank you.
so you're cooking. You're going to school. So you're going to school for so many different things. Now, is it because you were just that much of a badass? You would just you would get some sort of certificate or degree, or you were just kept changing your major because you didn't know what you want to be when you grew
I want to say it's badass, but honestly,
up?
it's not. It's like I said earlier, I have ADHD, and a part of ADHD is your indecisiveness and your inability to focus on one thing all the time.
Mhm.
And that can sometimes be a burden, like a handicap.
Yeah.
Um, and in the end, I decided, like, oh, through all my training and the stuff that I did with the Air Force, with Air National Guard, we had flight nurses, and I was like, oh, I want to be a flight nurse. So I was like, I'm gonna be a nurse. So I went to nursing school.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, that's my unit right there.
Yeah. I'm trying to
Uh,
pull this up while you're talking.
was it 137th Air Evac AES of the Air Refueling Wing, 137th Air Refueling Wing, which is now the Special Operations Wing. They changed that. But eventually, I went into nursing. But because of my ADHD and because of some issues that I had,
Mhm.
um, mentally, we can get into that a little bit later, because
Sure. Sure. Absolutely. Definitely.
definitely want to explain that a little bit later.
Yeah.
But
Whatever you want, man.
I
Absolutely.
ended up choosing nursing,
Okay. Okay.
and I actually failed nursing twice. Um, Believe it or not. And it's not because I'm not intellectual. It's because I couldn't keep myself focused on things. And oh yeah, that's Samsey. It's a picture of me and Samsey.
Yeah.
Uh, and ADHD does that to you. And I didn't know I even had that until I met my wife. Which, by the way, she's my nursing tutor.
Yeah. Yeah. Where
Yeah,
you
we
say
had
that?
some good learning sessions.
Yo, keep it.
Uh,
Yo,
PG rated, PG rated. Uh,
see, y'all handle
so
your own business. It's y'all's business.
with her help, realizing that I had ADHD, I began to become. I got medicated. Um, I was able to focus. I got the time that I needed to allocate it for my exams for nursing, and I ended up becoming a nurse. I told myself if I want to do something, that I'm going to keep going for it. And if I failed at one university and they told me that I couldn't be a nurse, I'm not going to tell them that I can't be something I want to be or
Hmm.
something that I can't achieve. I'm going to still go for it because I know myself. And I mean, I've been through the military. I can push myself to the limit. Then I should be able to do this in my life.
Yeah, absolutely.
So with
Yeah.
that help, and then getting on the medication, the proper medication, I was able to focus. I couldn't even read like a paragraph. I would read a paragraph and I'd be like, look out the window, squirrel. Like, oh, squirrel, look at that nut.
Yeah.
And then like I was like, oh, it's raining. But I'll go back with the medication. I was able to read an entire chapter and I would focus.
Yeah.
Uh, and it was great. I was able to be I was able to do my full potential.
That's great.
Um,
That's great.
so
So
yeah.
I know you talked about earlier the hardest part for um, your tech flight school was separation. Now, were you dating your wife at that point?
No.
Oh,
Uh,
sorry. I trying to put the pieces here
no.
together.
No, but now
Okay,
that we're
so
on to that topic,
yeah.
we can actually get there. So no, was my past relationship.
Sure.
I was with this person for like 9 years.
Yeah.
Um, I guess she would have been my high school sweetheart, but didn't happen.
Sure.
Uh, what? So that was a tough part in my life. Trying to think how to explain this,
Yeah. It's a
because this is a very very tough subject, but I do want to talk about it because
sure. No,
I
go
want
for it.
people to understand the
Yeah.
difficulties.
Absolutely.
And this happens to every military person who has a relationship that's far away. Sometimes the person's there waiting for you, sometimes they're not, and the reality of it kind of sucks. So in my case, the person supposedly was waiting for me, but was not.
Yeah.
I came back after. Oh, actually, this is actually additional training after the what's it called, water survival training.
Yeah.
Just additional training because I had to be trained in addition, like, to the helo and once again on like the C-130s. I had um in the aircraft, sometimes the ramps isn't completely like flat, like going diagonally. Like, it'll be two different plates like this, so then you have like a gap in
Yeah.
between. And when we were taking simulated patients off the aircraft, I happened to step in the area where there was no like plate for me to step on, and I fell through, and I
Hmm.
ended up twisting my ankle, and I got like, I mean, I didn't break it, I got a sprain, but it was like massively swollen, and I was on crutches. But thankfully, that was the last day, and I graduated that course.
Hmm.
So I ended up going back home, and and it was like on a day that I didn't tell my certain someone, fiance at that time,
Sure.
um, that I was coming back, and then I come into realization that they're not waiting for me and something's occurring.
Yeah. It,
Um,
yeah.
so
It's more common than it's more common than you think it is. Like people make jokes about it, like, oh, it's just a military thing. I mean, same thing happened to me. My high school sweetheart, except for I deployed to Iraq, and then her boyfriend was living in our house. So it's more common than you think it is. It's very, it sucks, to have that kind of trust in
mhm,
somebody, and it's very shitty. But like it works out in the end. I mean, obviously it worked out in the end.
yeah,
Like it's very
definitely.
it's it's a shitty situation, especially in the military. You try to have, like you're busy doing other shit. Like you expect your home life to be like that solid rock that carries you. But like uh, sometimes some people can handle it, sometimes some people can't. And it
Yeah.
takes a special kind of person to be able to handle uh, active duty and or veterans. As is a spouse. It takes a special somebody to be able to have that commitment and have that understanding that like it's a different life. It's a different life regardless. Period. Regardless if
Yeah.
you're active duty or a veteran, and it doesn't work out for some people, and like sorry to hear it didn't work out, but like It sounds like you kind of made it out on the better end here. You kind of,
Yeah,
yeah,
eventually.
yeah. Eventually, so lead us to that eventually. So that
So,
happened,
all right.
and then
So
so
that
you,
happened. So then I came back and I find out what was going on, and everybody fights different battles. Everyone has that certain point that will take them over the edge,
yeah,
and that was actually one of my moments. Um, there came a time, months later, or maybe like a year. I can't remember. Like I said, I'm bad with time frames.
yeah,
Um, there's one night that I had drank so much that I was driving back to my apartment. That I told myself I was driving back to my apartment, but I didn't know, and I ended up actually driving over a ditch into a tree.
mm,
Um, the weird thing is, like, I crawled out of my car, having back pain, and I looked up into the moon. I'm like, what am I gonna do? What's going on? I'm so confused. And I told myself, well, I was like, I need to call the cops. I need to call my parents. But the first thing I did is I called my parents and I told them what was going on, what had happened, and then the cops came by. Um, the cops came by and they questioned me like vigorously, and they're like, "So what happened here? Why is your car like in like directly into this tree over this ditch?" And I'm like, "Oh, I dodged this car that was coming. He's going fast, so I was just trying to dodge it." And um, I know I just want to be honest with you guys. I don't tell anyone this, and this is something very personal.
oh,
Uh, I at that moment, the doctor was, or the doctor, the police or the cop, pretty much was like, "Son, there's no tread marks. There was no you trying to stop or swerve. There's nothing, and there's no other tread marks as well." And at that point, like, I myself saw myself or felt myself kind of like depart from my body like a ghost, and I saw myself in like a third person situation. And the cop looked at me and told me, "Were you trying to hurt yourself? Do you need help?" And I looked at myself and I saw myself like in third person view. I kid you not. Like, I don't know what happened. I saw myself like kneel down to the ground, start crying, and saying that I was trying to hurt myself. I don't know what I was trying to do. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
mhm.
And my parents were right there behind me, confused. And I told him I needed help. It's difficult because you never know when you need help.
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah.
I
I
get emotional.
no, no, you're good, man. Like I said, like we still got a little ways to go. You can't start crying yet. Uh,
Yeah.
you're gonna get the rest of
So
us. That's rough,
so
man. Yeah, it's definitely rough.
I yeah, I ended up being like admitted into a psych ward. Those weren't the best memories ever. Just let you know.
It's
Had
not
that
easy. Yeah,
roommate screaming in the middle of the night, like freaking me out because I think he's gonna kill me. And like I thought,
yeah,
like back then, I didn't even know that I would attempt to do something myself to harm myself. Um, Eventually, in the end, like obviously I got out of there with the help of support, family, and friends, and uh, I mean, I wouldn't say I got over it. Like I will always remember it, but I know I'm a lot stronger than I ever will be
absolutely, man.
from that situation.
It,
So
it's one of those things that leaves a mark on you for the rest of your life, and it'll always be a part of you, but it doesn't have to. Once you kind of like recognize it and you break free from it, like it no longer weighs you down. It's a point you remember in your life of. It's a reference point. This is my low point, and like if I survive this, bring it on. So
yeah,
you have to look at it, is more of a you don't focus on it negative, once you start getting into that point of like when you focus on it too much, you're going to get back to that point because like you're gonna worry about it too much, and you're gonna next thing you know, you're gonna be at that same type of thing. You know, like it never leaves you, but it's like
Yeah.
it but you learn from it and grow from it, and
Yeah.
you don't get back to that point. So good for you, man. It's a shitty situation, but like you made it through, dude. Good for you.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. uh, all right. So, oh shit. Okay. So now, okay. So you were in a psych ward. How? I mean, we dived into it. How long were you in a psych ward for? Like, let's do this, man.
I think like 2 weeks or a
Okay.
week.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I can't remember. It's
Time.
dude,
Yeah.
I remember like I would literally go to like okay, so I was in an AA meeting 2 weeks.
Okay.
My wife said 2
Yeah.
weeks.
Yeah. She's got
You
you.
good with numbers?
Yeah. One of you guys have to
uh
remember. I'll just start
I
making
was
stuff up. So.
so I was in an AA meeting and everyone's like, "Hi, I'm so and so. I'm an alcoholic. Hi, I'm so." And then it came to me and I'm like, "Hi, I'm so and so. I'm not an alcoholic, but I'm here for the snacks." And it's like that's how desperate and crazy it was that I
Oh.
wanted because like I literally they say that they feed you or they take care of you like in psych wards. I know as a nurse, like like if I was a psych nurse, I want to be the best psych nurse that I can be. But there are psych wards out there, not to name any. Sometimes they don't give a shit,
Yeah.
and they won't. You won't get fed. Like I'm lactose intolerant, and I literally was told, I don't care that you're lactose intolerant,
Yeah. Too bad. Yeah.
and I didn't have any juice or anything to drink, and all I had was like, what was it? Like I literally would have to like sneak snacks from different meetings to other psych people. That's how sad it was. And I'm like, I knew that like I had issues mentally myself. There are other people there that have different mentality issues like bipolarism, uh, schizophrenia. Like they literally would not have certain snacks or food at times. They would literally just be confined to their room.
Yeah. Ooh,
And it's
it's rough.
sickening and sad, and never want to go back there again.
Hmm.
I'm grateful to be out, but at the same time, it worries me sometimes. Sometimes people that have been there,
Yeah.
but
That's rough,
some
man.
people turn themselves in, which is good if they need the help, but just that's where you turn yourself into.
Yeah. You got to be careful. You got to be
Yeah.
careful. You want help, but sometimes the places you believe are going to help you are not actually there to help you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little rough. So you were there 2 weeks. You made it through that. Now, how was that? Like, did you? I'm assuming you had to tell your command at that point. How was that conversation? Because you can't.
The
You
thing
can't.
is, they had no idea.
Yeah.
It's insane how you think like people like and I've seen like posts in the media and stuff like the depression, dude, you can look at me right now like I can smile, I can be happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
This could be the face of depression.
Yeah.
You can't tell at
Absolutely.
all.
Yeah.
When I went to talk to them and they're like, you missed this, you missed this. They're like, we're thinking of doing this and whatnot and everything. And then at that moment, I was like, I told them what had happened, what I had done, what occurred, where I was at. And like the commander was like,
Yeah.
I had no idea. You could have talked to us. And then I was like, could I have? I don't know. The
Yeah.
thing is with people with depression who their thought of like isn't like, oh, I can talk to anyone, they can help me, he can help me, she can. No, it's I'm worthless, no one's gonna want to help me, no one's gonna have time for me.
Yeah. You're in a different
And
different headspace. You're not
their mentality
thinking.
is different.
You're not thinking
And
clearly. Yeah.
they're at that moment they're like, forget what we said. They're like, and then I showed him like paperwork because it's all about paperwork
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I showed him paperwork and I'm
Absolutely.
like, I'm not lying, this is true. And they're like, all right. I'm like, well, your value here, we care about you, let us know what you need and stuff and like that. And like eventually in the end, I decided to leave the Air Force. Just for my sake. I think now I honestly I would love to go back. Air Force, if you're listening, I'm ready. but
Not sponsored,
but
but could be.
but could be. Uh,
No, don't sponsor me. Not me. Him. This side. Him. Him.
but
I'm okay with the Air Force. Like taking.
yeah, at that time, oh, aim, oh man, aim high, flat, flat, win, bro. Come on.
Yeah, whatever.
But
Uh, uh,
okay. All right, all right. Anyways, serious moment. At that time I decided like I think it's time for me to just focus on myself and finish my career. And
Sounds
so
good,
that's
yeah.
when I just focused on schooling. I became a nurse and I graduated becoming a nurse. And then that's when I started to work in a hospital called Mercy in Oklahoma. I worked in an oncology / med surg unit, not for too long, but for a little while, gained some experience there. The photo that you just showed actually is my current job.
Well, I figured. I don't know. You sent me like 2 medical stuff, so I figured
I
like
know.
this is close. This
From
is close
there,
enough.
yeah, it's getting there.
Yeah.
After that, well, before that, I was like a medic for urgent care company called oh my gosh, Immediate Care of Oklahoma.
Mhm.
And then I went to oncology.
Okay, so
search.
Sorry, so time frame wise, so you went to we just went over a lot of stuff.
I know.
Okay, so while you were in you got out of your schooling, like you said you didn't deploy and stuff. You did mention Alaska. I kind of wanted to go back and see how you got to there. I guess we kind of got off track because you said you've been a few places. So how did you mentioned you went to Alaska with the Guard. How does that come about?
We had so many training opportunities.
Okay.
Japan, Germany. There was missions that I actually signed up for. One of them was like Puerto Rico, Colombia, and stuff like that. But they always got canceled.
Yeah.
For reasons that
you didn't rank high enough.
No, it's not that. It's just people didn't survive, so they didn't like.
Oh no, I mean you didn't rank high enough to know exactly why. Like,
oh, I didn't know
why
completely. They just gave me like a layman term.
They just told
situation.
you.
Yeah.
So it was a need to know basis, and you didn't rank high enough to need to know.
So yeah, this is kind of weird because I speak Spanish, and like you could utilize me to the better of my capabilities, and it would help. But whatever.
Yeah.
But no, one of the training opportunities that I was able to go to was Alaska, and that was the first time I ever saw a moose that was massive. And mooses they're freaking huge, guys. Oh my god.
Free fun fact: the natural predator of the moose, orca, the orca.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because they dive underwater and they eat a lot of the kelp and plant underwater. It's a free fun fact. Yeah. So, anyways, So in Alaska, what kind of training are you doing in Alaska?
Well, it was just flying to Alaska. We did the training on flight. The training on flight was just simulations of patients in the aircraft. If they were to code, what would we do? If we lost oxygen, what would we do? Scenarios like that. And then once we land, we would debrief, talk about the whole situation, reconfigure, and then we stayed in Alaska for a couple days.
Oh, nice.
It was during the summer, and it's like 24-hour sunlight over there. So it was really confusing because I remember at 4 a.m. thinking it was 4 p.m. because I don't know, I didn't care about time back then, and we drank a lot. Pretty good times. We tried to go into stores at 4 a.m. and we're like trying to get in there, like, why is nothing open? And then we're like looking at our class like 4 a.m. We're like, oh, we need to go back and sleep.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's funny. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. Did you go into? Did you do any other things like that? But like, training, mid-flight training from, I don't know, point A to point B type stuff.
Yeah, that was all over across the U.S. I never actually went outside the U.S. Every time I did try to go outside the U.S., it was always canceled. Like there was the Japan one, the Germany one.
Now, so take us through, like, so I'm assuming they're different every single time, but like, do you have any stories of any of these in-flight, like what would you try to do during one of these in-flight whatever.
Oh, like there's one time where they simulate like a fire in the aircraft itself, and like they literally put smoke inside the aircraft.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
if not, it wasn't like an actual fire, but it was like I don't know what they used, but there was a lot of smoke and you couldn't really breathe well.
Yeah.
And we were just trying to make sure we got our oxygen tanks on and stuff like that.
Okay.
And yet when I started doing it, it was all paperwork, vital signs, whatever. And then we converted to like iPads, and I was like, oh, this is crap, because we're like pressing random buttons and stuff is horrible.
Sure.
But
This looks like
that's actually one of them too.
okay. Good. I was like, yeah, this kind of looks like inside of a plane. I'm gonna go with yes.
That was a C-17 flight
Okay.
practice run as well.
Okay.
So yeah, we would do simulations like that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, I've got a bunch of pictures here, so I'm
Very good.
trying to get through them to see what else is here. You sent me a lot of pictures, so and like you said, they're not in any specific order either. So tell us about this
Aircraft.
handsome picture right here. Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Handsome. That's my flight suit. Yeah.
Sorry. I just saw this picture. I had to show it.
Where was that at? Oh, that was flight school.
Yeah.
Goose. Actually, one of my nicknames in the military was Maverick. But also my call sign for like secret call sign was I don't know if I should tell this to you guys, but I'll tell it anyways. It's Snowflake. Yeah.
Why is it Snowflake? I'd like to know.
No, we're not going there.
Oh, it's like that, huh? You just all right. Tease just like that, huh? All right, I got you. I'm gonna start calling you Snowflake from now on. I don't care.
Dude, do it. I'll be like, yeah, hey.
Yeah, all right. Oh, is that why they call you Snowflake? Okay, yeah, no problem.
But anyways, oh yeah, the picture right there is those are some of my classmates, my flat girls from flight school.
Nice. So this was okay. So this was flight school.
Yeah. Oh, that was fun. We went to a lot of clubs and stuff and dances. Great times.
Oh.
I like to dance, by the way.
Dance. That doesn't.
Dance.
It kind of doesn't surprise me. Definitely doesn't surprise me. We saw those. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to scroll through here. A lot of military, a lot of random pictures. Which what is you got to kind of explain some of these. What is this here? What's this?
If it's the one you're going to show, I have no idea. Explain that.
What's going on here?
Oh no, that's actually Mop 4 training in our unit.
Yeah.
We're just pretty much practicing to put everything on really quickly and
under a desk.
Yeah, under cover.
Oh,
that's our cover.
Oh boy.
I know, right?
Yeah, absolutely random. 100% agree. All right. Let's see what's next. I figure you sent me all these pictures. We got to put them out there of you in the military. We'll get to random ones afterwards. There's quite a few. I'm assuming are after the fact. What's up with this picture?
Oh, have you ever heard of Twin Peaks?
I mean, I've probably seen the movie, like, but like.
That's actually one of my last days before I was separated from the Air Force.
Okay.
It was my last Twin Peaks with the crew. These two airmen were my good friends of mine. I still keep in contact with them sometimes. They're in Oklahoma right now.
Oh, nice.
They actually were two of the people that knew what I was going through. Because I actually opened up to them afterwards when the stuff went down.
Yeah, it's always good to be able to have a support system.
They were my wingmen.
What's going on here?
That's the same day. For the Mop 4.
Okay.
That's one of the same airmen and some of the actual officers that were helping us, making sure we put our stuff on correctly.
These two ladies are officers?
And one of them is officer, one of them was a non-commissioned officer. Okay. But both very well respected, for sure.
Sure. Look, I was. That's not what I was. That's not what I was getting at. Don't start putting that in people's mind about me. I just. Oh, moving on. All right, let's see some other pictures here. Let's see. I really want to know about. Yeah. So I know this is kind of off topic. I need to know about this. I really need to know about
I'm
this.
still waiting. I'm
What is
still waiting
this?
for that one to pop up.
What is
I
this?
don't.
I need to know about
Next one.
this.
Oh,
I need to know. Here, let me make this bigger for you guys.
that actually kind of ties to
I
the situation where I pretty much got my wife's phone number.
oh
Yeah.
oh. All right. Now, look.
So
Forget the rest of the stuff. I need to know this. So this is Deadpool for those of you who don't know. Uh, with the Hello Kitty backpack.
yes. Wow,
Because
you got good eyesight, bro. Holy
well,
hell.
those of you who don't know, Deadpool's a huge Hello Kitty fan, and the only social media that Deadpool follows, Hello Kitty, officially, it's official. So I'm
Sure.
a big comic book guy.
I
So
love Deadpool. Oh
Deadpool,
man.
yeah, Deadpool is
Um.
Deadpool's a man. So
So that.
tell us about
So
this.
the first movie of Deadpool ever. All right.
Yes.
I decided to cosplay. I love cosplay, by the way.
Yeah,
I like
we'll
to do
get into
stuff.
some of those pictures later. There's a lot of
Um.
cosplay pictures you sent me.
um
Ooh. Uh,
so this right here was the day I decided to cosplay. It's the first premiere of the first movie, like the day before midnight.
uh-huh.
I went to nursing class and I dressed up as Deadpool. Like it didn't. I was like, dude, I love this guys. I'm going in. So my cousin, give props to her for taking pictures. She followed me around campus. I planked. I took pictures with random people. And what was it? When it came to class time, I went over. Yeah,
Yeah, I got you. I
awesome. I
got you,
love
man.
that picture.
I got
Oh
you.
yeah,
Yeah. We're getting there.
oh, I
Yeah.
love cats. I don't know, but I went to my wife's classroom and took a picture with her.
Oh.
Uh, and uh, she was like, "Oh, she's like, yeah, it's cool and whatnot and everything." And I'm like, "Hey," I was like, "Do you want a copy of the picture?" And she's like, "Sure." I was like, "Well, let me text it to you." She's like, "Okay." So I got her phone number that way and I texted it to her. And in all honesty, I
Smooth.
wasn't trying to get her phone number. At least I thought I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe it's just
Mm-hmm.
me trying to be a gentleman.
My
But
man.
and she texted me later on that day, and she's like, "That was so smooth. How you got my number?" And I was like, she caught on, and I was like, "Hey, okay." So, oh, that's actually a mixture of a Deadpool slash. If you
Uh,
play Pokemon Go, Instinct, which is Team Yellow, a
okay.
mixture of that
Okay.
Pokemon slash Deadpool,
I don't,
and she
but
was
yeah.
Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
So I got her number that way, and that same night I texted her back. I was like, "Hey, my friend like totally ditched on me. I have 2 tickets to the premiere for Deadpool," and she was like, "Oh yeah," and I'm like, "Yeah, you want to come with?" And she's like, "Sure." So she came with me to the premiere of Deadpool.
My
And
man.
the funny thing is, I went with her, and like a lot of like other people from my flight, like my unit from Oklahoma International Guard, were there too.
Oh.
And I was like, it's so random.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I bought the tickets that night actually. And then like a few days later, once we started going out and everything, she's like, the Deadpool movie, the first date that we had, I was like, yeah. I was like, she's like, yeah, so I saw the receipt. You bought it that same night. I was like, good God. Yeah,
She
I
called you out on it.
nothing.
Yo, she called
I
you out
know.
on it. That's great.
Smart.
Yeah.
And so, oh, that's a Gwen right there,
Yeah.
and Spider-Man right there. Oh, she took me to for my birthday to Comic Con, so that was kick ass.
Yo. Well, like Comic Con where?
Oklahoma City.
Okay, I was gonna say don't say San Diego. I'll have to fight you. I've always
Mm-mm.
wanted to go. I was stationed in San Diego and I never got around.
Yeah,
I never
man.
got the chance to. I'm very disappointed about it.
We shall go one day. That'd be cool.
It's not as glorious as it used to be.
Oh, it's always glorious with
It's
Deadpool.
it's all commercial. Yeah. True. So
uh
this one, Star
oh,
Wars.
that's Star Wars. If you ever played like the Star Wars franchise, Star Killer,
Hmm.
the Force Awakens or the Force,
Absolutely.
I dressed up as Star Killer,
Hmm.
Sith, and then my two friends right there, they dressed up as Sith Lords with me. So I have more pictures of that, but I was like, I'm just gonna give him
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm just
That's Comic Con in Tulsa.
yeah, it's super bombarded with pictures, but that's okay. It's it helps guide the story. We talked about it earlier.
For
So
sure.
let's see. I'm trying to see if you sent me any more cosplay stuff. Uh, okay.
I don't know
Well,
if
here's
anything
this.
else. Oh,
I'm
I
a little
did.
jealous of this one here.
Which
Not
one's
gonna
this
lie.
one? Oh yeah. I met him, guys. Just let you know,
Yeah.
Comic
So
Con.
him and you're taking a picture here with you and Norman Reedus. Yo, the man.
I'll
Uh,
let you know. I lost words when he put his arm around me.
yo, I that look on your face is euphoria right there.
I was like, ah, yeah.
So
Woo.
those of you who are a little younger, this man was in a movie called Boondock Saints. Uh,
Yes. Oh,
I
yes.
my son is 12. I was obsessed with that movie. I named him after one of the characters in the movie. So yeah, that man is amazing. Uh, oh,
He's in The
anyways,
Walking
sorry.
Dead.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody knows him from The Walking Dead.
Walking
Blah blah
Dead.
blah. But whatever. Boondock Saints. That's where I
No,
fell in
yeah,
love.
his debut is Boondock Saints. Yeah, for sure.
That's where I fell in love with that man.
Hmm.
Don't at me. Let's see. I don't see any more cosplay pictures. I don't. What did I see in here?
No.
So,
There's one picture I have no idea how I even got it or what happened or when that day was, and you probably can find it. I don't know.
well, I have a more. Okay, so you went on a. So you smoothly got your wife's phone number.
Yeah. Oh.
Now, so I'm curious now. I always find it interesting in different ways. If you don't want to tell it, I understand.
Mhm.
How did so um how'd you propose to your wife? How did that go down? If it's
Oh,
not too
that's
if
a
it's
good
not too
question. No,
personal or private, I kind of want
I
to
don't think so.
yeah, it is for some people.
Um,
Like, I don't know. I've heard some weird
in
ones. So
uh, in Oklahoma City, there's this tower called Devon Tower.
uh-huh.
It's like the tallest, one of the tallest buildings in Oklahoma City. There's like a really famous restaurant. Oh, I forget what it's called. Babe, don't kill me later,
Uh-oh.
please. But it's a restaurant at the very 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 very, very top.
Yeah.
And what happened was
What happened was uh-oh.
I made reservations and I pretty much asked the staff if I could propose in a room where there was like windows open, and so that's pretty much what I did. I proposed at the top of that building. Had it not recorded, but have pictures taken with the staff, and I actually made her a book. It was titled in Vietnamese lettering because she's Vietnamese.
Mhm.
Um, and the reason, like the 100 reasons why I love you, and I got it published. And she opens the book, and there's like 100 reasons why I love you. And at the end of the book, it's pretty much me asking for her hand in marriage. And then
Smooth.
pretty much knelt down and I asked her to marry
Yeah.
me.
Oh man. Yo, I need
So
to let me take some let me you and I got to talk.
I'm
I got to
I'm a romantic. Just saying.
I got to I got to take some notes. I got to take some notes. Nice. So, how long did you guys how long were you guys engaged? Were you I mean, you got married, so how
uh, we got married in August 24th, 2019.
oh,
Um, and then we dated for about 2 years,
oh,
I believe.
nice. That's awesome. That's awesome.
I'm like, I got that side view of like, am I right, babe? Am I right? If I'm not, don't hurt me with it.
Uh-oh.
I'm not good.
Yeah, if there's a pan that flies on screen, like, you'll know you're wrong.
Bung. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, so you got it. You
Uh,
got it, man. Don't second guess yourself.
yeah.
A beautiful couple here.
That's my wife right there.
I hope so.
Uh, to the right of me, and then my brother to the right of her, my mom, my sister to the left of me, and then my dad.
Yeah.
to the left of my sister. That's my immediate family, and then
Okay, pull up the other one.
yeah.
Me this one.
Oh yeah, that's our wedding night. That's us leaving the reception.
Yeah, that's a reception. That's not. Oh yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
Good times.
Yeah, good man. That's awesome, dude. Take that out. Take that. We'll make this full screen. There we go. That's awesome. You guys look super happy. Look at those smiles, dude. That's great.
I know, man.
Good for you guys. All right.
It's good times.
Hope so. Hope so. All right. So now, 2019. You guys get hitched. You're out already. You're doing nursing. So you've been doing that ever since?
Yeah, I'm a nurse right now, a registered nurse. I work at a outpatient clinic now, and I work in the number one. What's it called? I can't think of the word, but I work in the number one hospital in the world now. As crazy as it thinks.
A regular hospital or a veterinary hospital?
Regular.
Well, this picture says otherwise.
Oh, dude, that's the picture I was talking
about.
I
know. That's what I figured you were talking about.
I was like, I have no idea when that occurred.
This picture says
it occurred when I was in nursing school when I met my wife, but like, I don't know how it happened. I was like, I rode a camel. Like, one day I was looking through my Facebook. I was like, what? Like a camel? Dude, it must have been hump day, man.
Hump day.
It pretty much was. I just thought that was neat. I was like, wow. I was like, it's crazy. You go back in like your pictures and like you didn't realize like some of the things that happened in your life.
Yeah. So, your life goes by super quick sometimes.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Before you even
notice. Yeah. I work now in at the Mayo Clinic.
Oh, so. That's awesome. I've definitely heard about that before. Heard of the Mayo Clinic before. It's gonna.
Oh, what is that? It's Machu Picchu.
Yeah. I'm going through the pictures here that are I don't want to say leftovers, but the ones that aren't equated to military. So, tell us about this.
Yeah.
What's this here?
So that's actually the llama herd that my dad used to herd in Peru.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
That's
okay. No, I'm being sarcastic. It's not.
Oh, damn! I was about to be like, oh, okay. All right, my man. Oh.
No, but llamas are the thing in Peru. Obviously, it's like they're
on the flag. Obviously. You didn't know that? Come on, chat. You didn't know that? Obviously.
Machu Picchu, it's beautiful. It's one of the 7 world wonders. I've been there. I've only been to Peru once, so eventually I'll go there again. But my dad lived around the Cusco areas, so he did. Obviously, there's a lot of llamas, and he lived like near the mountains and stuff. So
that's awesome.
But my mom was more of an Amazon person.
Mm-hmm. Now, that's incredible. So, what do you do? So, like, do you nurse specific areas at the Mayo Clinic, or is it like, are you?
I work in right now just with
I don't want to get too into it.
And
there's not that many Mayo clinics out there. There's
just the outpatient clinic location. Yeah. So if just primary care, I would say, just to keep it generalized, I do that stuff. I room patients, but in addition, I'll take calls and whether it be certain situations, I'll triage patients as well.
Sure.
Over the phone.
Yeah, there's not that many Mayo clinics, so you don't have to get too specific.
Yeah.
There's only a few in the country, so that's cool.
That's actually a picture of my cat that recently passed away.
Oh, well, now I feel like it. Well, look, I'll switch it.
That's fine. Her name is Chi Chi, and I miss her, and I love her very much.
That's good.
It's from Dragon Ball Z. If
Chi Chi. Yeah. I get you.
I cried for days. Thanks, babe. But
yo, that's okay though. That's okay. What about this one.
Can't see it. Oh, that's my other cat, Zero. I actually almost ran over him one day. He's a stray cat,
Okay.
but I stopped the car and I opened the door and he like magically jumped into my lap and meowed. And that's when I was like, okay, he has chosen me.
Yeah.
So I had to take care of him.
Yeah. He picked you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, if you gotta step away for a second, I get you, man. I can talk to chat for a minute or two, and then we can kind of I've got a few more questions to ask, and then
I'll be right back. Okay.
There. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, thanks, man.
Yeah. So yo, chat, it's just us now. I learned a lot today. I wasn't too sure. Oh, I thought I turned the whole thing off. I was like, oh no. Learned a lot about the National Guard. Like, you never realize it's the same thing with like when Dub the Wolf, like with the Coast Guard. Like, you never realize how much specific branches here. Let's do this so I don't feel too weird. There we go. Now we're good. Now we're good to go. And it's one of those things that you never learn. You learn so much about different branches and different stuff that they do by. I mean, a lot of us vets are like, make fun of other branches because we just don't understand. Like, we don't know. Like some of the stuff that that he was describing, like is pretty intense. Like SEER training, like that's no joke. For those of you who don't understand, like that's not like, it's one of those things that you can't like. That school's no joke. It's not a, and the fact that like, I know a lot of people who were in the Marine Corps who couldn't get through that type of schooling. So, and then, but a lot of people kind of bash on the National Guard, the Air Force, that type of stuff, because they don't understand that, like, they don't understand the tough like training and stuff that you go through, like through jobs and stuff like that. It all depends on the person and how they kind of depict themselves. Hey, I figured just put a picture of you up there.
Hella good, man. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. I was like, yo, I gotta have somebody. I have to have something to distract the people from me ranting.
I was at work today. What's that song that you it's the oomps 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 song. You know what I'm talking about?
Oomps. Yeah.
That was literally every time I walked down the hallway after seeing a patient, that was in my head. And I was like, all right. And then I was like, what? Like, I've never heard of that song until watching your stream. Yeah, and then I was like, it's already here, man. It's right here. It's
a banger for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So we normally, I'd like to know what's that one moment when you look back on your entire career where you're like, this moment makes me smile every time I think about it. What's that one moment where you're like, you just can't help but like, it makes you feel better. It makes you laugh. It makes you, it makes you kind of like, what's that moment that kind of like brings you joy and happiness when you're basically sitting down and thinking about your past time in the guard, the air guard. Yeah. You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say?
If it involves military, so like
the military
two periods in my life. I have the civilian aspect and then the military. So in my military, the most important aspect and feeling of gratitude that I ever accomplished was when my military instructor gave me my doc tags.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's the only time he'll ever look at you after yelling at you for so much, putting your face on the ground, carrying 70 pounds of on your back, even like 70 pounds on your back while crawling, just simulation crap, and like having scars on your knees and your ankles and whatnot.
Yeah.
Him coming to you directly into your face and telling you, and that's like my second dad. Crazy as you think about it.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you,
Yeah.
and you're an airman, and
Yeah.
I know that you have my six, and I will have yours. I'll always have yours. And like,
What a moment.
dude, I was like, like with Ti, I was like, Dad, number two. Like, I wanted to hug the guy, man. That's how crazy it was, because he broke me to the point where I felt like I was nothing, and brought me back up to what I am
Yeah.
today. Like,
Yeah.
in addition to the civilian side, man, that was impacting. And
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely.
I saw him like later on as an EMT, after doing the EMT course, taking care of an airman in basic training with my EMT skills because he passed out. He was right there, and he called me my last name or whatnot, and I was like, Dad, like my second T, I was like, but the thing was, like, I reported in like I was in freaking
Yeah.
BMT. He's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm sorry. And he's like, you're already an airman. He's like, you don't need to report in. And then he gave me a hug, man. And he's like, take care of that airman. And I was like, damn, fucking straight, sure I will. And I grabbed that airman. We put him in the ambulance.
Nice. Nice. That's
So
awesome. Yeah.
that was awesome to see him. In my civilian life, um, struggling through school, feeling like I couldn't actually achieve my goal of becoming a nurse
Yeah.
because I had failed so many times. And like, dude, I'll be honest, like, if you're determined and focused on something of a career, and you're crying about it, you obviously want to become that, or like that career. You want to have that career in your life.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for my wife, who was there for me to push me and help me focus. And like, yeah, she was my tutor, but she wasn't my tutor 24/7. She'd be like, it's your responsibility.
Yeah.
She'd push me to be the best person that I could be. In a way, she made me adult.
Yeah.
And you need that one person in your life to make you like become that adult.
Yeah.
And because you need to grow. And that's what a marriage is all about. You grow with that person. So though
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
the military side, my TI, and the civilian life, my
Yeah.
wife. So
That's awesome. That's
yeah.
awesome, man. I'm so so happy for you, dude.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, I do agree that there's like, if you want something bad enough and like it touches you on an emotional level, like you got to keep pushing for it straight up.
For sure.
Uh
Real men cry.
yeah,
So,
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely. Um
Mm-hmm.
so that's great, man.
Thanks,
So
man.
normally for the last little bit, it's a great story. I super appreciated it. But does anybody have any questions? We kind of open it up to chat. Like, does anybody have any
Oh,
questions regarding what we talked about on his thing? Because I just saw Will in here. He'll
can I
ask
say
some.
something real quick?
You can say whatever you want to, man.
Before I start, I'm just gonna, and this is, we're keeping a PG rate. I have close under here. I may be out of Rex, but
Oh,
I'm gonna put,
oh yeah. I was gonna plug MVP.
All right. We'll get there. 1 second, guys, while I take this flight suit off. Oh God, this is actually tighter than I thought it was. I need to work out.
You need you gotta cut down on them burritos, my dude.
Probably the Big Macs. I'm just gonna take it off halfway. No, okay, there it goes. Take it off. All right, so, boom. I just wanted to explain like a little bit part of my life now. MPP, my veteran passion. I know you were gonna get to it, but I myself am the content creator / media director of my veteran passion.
Mm-hmm.
And just briefly explaining it, basically what I do is, anyone who applies to become an MVP affiliate, we monitor and make sure that they're following regulations so that they represent us in a respectful manner. And they've like my veteran passion, in a sense, has helped me achieve my dream on the side. And what I mean by that is, like I told you earlier, I was a graphic design major. I can draw and paint. I have some artwork. There's a charcoal drawing. I don't know if you can pull it up. That's
Okay.
actually a
Yeah.
picture of me in the emo days. Or I think we were talking about it in a different time frame. Like I was
Yes.
like pretty emo. That's a self portrait of me in charcoal. Uh, so my veteran passion has helped me achieve my dream of working like social media and doing like arts and ads and social media stuff like that.
Sure.
So I'm
Of course.
grateful to be a part of them, not in addition to, not in addition to helping them help support veterans uh, against suicide and combating mental health, because that's what our cause is, and that's why we stream. That's why we work out. That's why every Saturday we have Salty Sailor Talk, because we're there for you, and whatever you guys want to talk about. Uh, they've helped me so much, and I hope that this MVP can help you guys as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm grateful for that. I know, Bob, you're MVP affiliate, and I appreciate you being one. And obviously hosting this, I appreciate it as well.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
So,
Always. That's what the that's what the that's what VOP is all about, is helping veterans and promoting veterans and helping veteran organizations and helping vets get in contact with each other to uh, be able to get help that they need because like we all struggle, but there's no reason why we got to struggle alone. Because like
yep.
like you said, like you needed help at one point in time and you feel like you couldn't reach out to anybody, and that's kind of like there's no reason for that. Like there's no reason for that for you to not feel like there shouldn't be anybody you should be able to reach out to and talk to. So that's what this kind of channel, that's what this channel is, period. VOP, this isn't me, like my name's not VOP. Like I don't walk around, nobody calls me VOP, like when I turn the screen off. So like so it's these it's the type of thing that like we have to be here to help each other. And I'm glad I ran into MVP, my veteran passion. I ran into the first person I ran into was actually Rogue Frog. She was the first person on the spotlight since we revamped it and renewed it and started over. She was the first person who was on it, and then we had, of course, Sneaky Gingy, Doc was on it as well, and it's been a pleasure to be able to help out with MVP and help veterans, period. And I absolutely it's all about helping vets, and I've been grateful to be able to help where I can, and we raised money for Doc's friend, their family, who he became one of the 22 recently. Every 22nd of the month, MVP does a 24-hour stream. So you check them out during that time, and that's what it's all about. It's all about helping veterans, and so yeah, I was gonna get there. You stole my thunder.
Sorry,
we got to
Hey,
few
Thunder Buddies for life.
yeah,
Buddies
Thunder
for
Buddies for
life.
life. Yeah, fuck you, Thunder.
Yeah.
So let's see. I saw somebody ask a legitimate question here.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think your wife said you need to work out and it's on video. So
Dang.
I mean, I don't know what that means. Well, I kind of think I know what that means. So you better get a Uh-oh. Look,
Oh,
like I
oh,
said,
my bad.
no, put him down. Put him down. You got to pay for the. You
Sorry.
got to pay for that around here. Don't give it away for free. Know your worth.
Haters gonna hate.
Yeah. So, somebody asked, where'd you learn to draw and paint, or is it natural talent?
I want to say genetics play a factor with certain things, but I want to say like diseases and stuff. If you want to be a good drawer, you have to put the time and effort to do it. Yeah, my dad, he was an amazing like artist. He wanted to be, that was his dream when he came to America, but it didn't happen because he didn't know the language English.
Mm-hmm.
And he dropped his dream to make sure that I went to school, and I'm very grateful for that. He sacrificed his future dreams for me.
Yeah.
I gained that skill. Maybe genetically I can like move a pencil better, but I'm not gonna say that's genetic, because I feel like with practice, you're able to do anything that you can do, and that's what I learned from the military. Repetitiveness, and then it becomes a habit.
Yeah, muscle memory.
Muscle memory, yeah, especially gun configuration, whatever.
Yeah,
but my dad, he was very strict when it came to art, and like he's a perfectionist, and like if it was not perfect, he would rip it up and tell me to start over. When it came into writing, like my cursive,
yeah,
he's like, I can't read this, and he rip it up, and I'm like, dude, that's my homework for tomorrow. He's like, do it again.
Yeah.
And in Spanish, she's like,
Yeah.
But man, I'd be like, so then I'd redo it. And I mean, and that wasn't because he didn't think I was good. He just wanted me to keep doing it
better. He wanted you to do your best.
Better. Yeah. So practice. I mean, YouTube now has so many like people showing like different ways how to draw certain things. I was like, dang, I never thought about how to draw it that way at first and then do it. But like, because I would do it differently. People have different habits, there's different ways to achieve things. There's no one right way.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like I said, I failed nursing school multiple times, but that didn't mean I wasn't going to be a successful nurse in the future. I still became that successful nurse because I went a different route, because that's the other route was not the route I was supposed to go to. I was supposed to go through a different route to achieve the possibilities or the things that I would today.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they kind of pushed you to just be the best version of you possibly can. And that's awesome that you had somebody behind you trying to basically just, like, you can not necessarily saying you're doing bad, but you can do, but this isn't your best. And you should always give your best and put your best foot forward, because you can do better. And when you're at your best, I mean, you inspire others to be better. So that's a good lesson to be able to learn when you're, I mean, still in school. I mean, if you're learning cursive, you're like in the 6th grade, 7th grade ish.
Yeah. I don't think they learn. Do they teach cursive now? I don't think they do.
I don't think they do either. I'm not entirely sure.
Oof, man. Cursive is, it's fun.
Yeah. It could be rough. It could be rough. Could not be rough. I don't know.
Too.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
I don't see any questions related to the military. Like I said, Will asked a bunch of questions that none have any.
I'll answer anything.
Yeah, some of these aren't. Some of these I'm not going to ask on stream because they're not. They're going to get my channel canceled. Yeah. So.
Catch me on live Xbox. We'll play together. We talk.
Gingy, Doc says he has a question. He hasn't typed it yet, so I don't know. I don't know.
Question?
Doc does a lot of. Doc's tried to get my channel canceled like last week, so I don't know.
What?
Yeah. Anyways, I don't think anybody has any reasonable questions on here. Doc didn't even.
Doc.
Yo. Yeah. Exactly.
Innie or outie.
Innie or outie, like whatever. Like none of that has to do. None of that has to do with anything you talked about today. But I super appreciate you being here. Yet again, MVP does a lot of good stuff. So you're on social media, obviously, because we've promoted Twitch, correct?
Yeah.
Dis
Zshadowfallz.
Discord. You have a Discord?
Yeah. It's a Catnip's party. It's on my profile. You guys
Okay.
can join it there if you want.
Um, Instagram,
Instagram,
uh,
Twitter,
Twitter, TikTok. I know a lot of kids have TikTok.
TikTok.
You got some
Oh,
TikTok?
I'm addicted to TikTok, man. It's dangerous. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Not
I'm
my
there.
not my thing. Not a like. I don't dance around and whatever. I don't know. Let's see. Do you have a Shadow Facebook?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Okay. All of this will be in the bio. I'm just trying to go over it, so when I watch this back, I can kind of remind myself. What else? Do you have a I don't know. Do you have a Spotify playlist? Do you have
Oh, oh, you know what?
just
I
kidding.
probably
Oh,
do. I probably have to add that. No, that's a great idea, dude.
yeah.
I do. I do. I have so many. I don't know. I listen to a lot of different things like
Nice.
K drama, heavy metal, Spanish music,
Oh,
Vietnamese music, Korean music. Like I listen to a plethora of music, man. I just
okay.
love music. I like to sing too. So, and I think I got that from my mom.
Okay.
But,
So right here, Doc's actually coming through with
all
a
right,
good
what's up?
question. What? So to summarize it, what would your advice be to a vet when they're feeling low? What would you tell a vet who's at a low point?
If a vet's at a low point.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, you can always ask someone what's going on, but that sometimes may be a little bit like invasive. So my thing is, no one like when I was depressed and I was low, I didn't even know to ask for help. So that's why you have your wingman, your what's it called, your battle buddy.
Mhm.
Um, they're always there with you. Who's they're in a sense they kind of have to be like the person who's like is something going on or them to talk to you. But what I would say if someone is down, I'd be like, never compare yourself to someone's situation because every situation is different. So I wouldn't compare myself. I'll be like, oh, I've been there before. No, that's not something you do because you
Mhm.
know you haven't been there because it's perceptive, just like pain. Like my pain level could be 1 for something, your pain level could be 9.
Mhm.
That's nursing. So when you go up to someone who's very low, be like, I'm sorry, I can't imagine what you're going through. I can't put myself in that situation, but I'm here for you.
Mhm. Mhm.
And that doesn't mean that you have to be there and asking the questions like, "Hey, what can I do? What can I do to make you happy? What can I do this and stuff?" Like one person who's like sad or something like that doesn't even need for you to like, "Oh, I need you to do this to make me happy." No, it's that presence of someone being there
Mhm.
because to them right now, they're alone, they're solitary, and they think no one's there. And if you tell them like, I can't imagine what it's like being in your situation, but I'm here for you no matter what. And whenever you're ready to talk, I'm here to listen.
Mhm.
So when they're ready and they know that at least someone is there to listen to them, then they're at least willing to open up to someone, or at least they know that they're not alone.
Yeah.
And it's just so hard to not realize that you're not alone when you're in that situation. So,
Mhm.
and if there's people out there like right now, if in the military or not even in the military, you're not alone. We're here for you,
Yeah. Absolutely.
and I'm not playing. I
Yeah.
am here for you.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like if you click on my channel in the about section, that's exactly what it says. It says you're not alone, and I love you because I'm here for you. So
Yeah.
regardless if you're active duty, veteran, or just a person, just a civilian, like people are there who care, regardless of if you feel alone or not. You just have to. You'll never know who's going to grab your hand if you never reach out. So,
Hmm.
some people might say I'm there for you, and then you reach out and they don't. But that doesn't mean you stop reaching out. Somebody else asked three pieces of advice for joining the military or considering joining. I'm assuming.
Oh, that's a pretty good question. 3 pieces of advice.
Yeah.
I would say you have to make sure. Okay, so joining the military, it's not something that everybody does. In other countries, they have regulations to where they put you in the military, and I'm not gonna name the countries. We're not gonna get into political situations,
Yeah.
but they'll
Yeah.
put you in the military at a certain age for certain
Yep.
reasons because in their country, unlike the USA, I said it like Borat style, the USA, they don't volunteer. But as Americans, we volunteer.
Yeah.
And we are the 1-2% that do. And so if you decide, you have to realize that this is a decision that is not to make not to make lightly. That you want to make sure that the reason you're doing this isn't, it's not for yourself. You're not joining because I want the pride.
Yeah.
You're doing it because you want to protect freedom. You want to give freedom not only just to the U.S. but others as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's two. The third point would be
free college.
No,
just kidding.
Not always, dude.
Yeah. I'm just kidding.
It depends. No. What's the third thing? Man, you lost my train of thought. You said free college. Like, it's not for everybody, actually. But
yeah, absolutely.
College
isn't
may
for
get
everybody
like
either.
some of it is like we'll just pay for your books. Like it's tough. It's tough. Like contracts are different.
Yeah,
but you're supposed to be going into realizing that you're signing your life away because you're protecting freedom, not for just the U.S. I get that it's the U.S., but you eventually are going to be fighting to protect other people in other countries.
Potentially,
so you're fighting
for
freedom for the world.
Yeah.
Okay. And in addition, I'm trying to think of the third reason. You're putting your life kind of like in a pause because you're not going to be around family for a while, depending on if you're deployed or whatnot and everything. That doesn't mean you won't come back to your family or anything, but that means that you're putting your life on hold for everyone else. So that's another decision that you have to make. Even if you're just like a guardsman, like I was, like 1 week in a month. Yeah, that's only 1 week in a month. That may be like nothing. Maybe it is a lot less to like an active duty compared to an active duty who's like always constantly doing their job. But when that 1 weekend comes at that month, that 1 weekend could extend to be an entire month or years, depending if something happens. 9/11 happened. You got like, and this goes back into the past, like the Vietnam War happened. I'm sure that guardsmen that joined the military are thinking, what, 1 weekend in the month, but then the war happened. That means they become active the entire time. So
Absolutely.
That's some decisions that you have to think about. Am I willing to put my life down for others?
Yeah, absolutely. You're basically, I feel like you need to get physically and mentally ready for whatever branch you're joining. You need to be physically ready, and then you have to be mentally ready to be like you were saying, you could deploy at the drop of a hat. You need to be willing to like cash you're basically giving Uncle Sam a blank check. Cash it how you want to. I could sit stateside for whatever 4 years, or I mean I could spend more time deployed in combat zones than stateside. And then the third piece of advice I would give somebody is take care of yourself. If your if your leg hurts and you're having trouble walk, go to medical. Don't let anybody tell you like, oh, you just suck it up, like don't be a pussy, blah blah blah, like, because when you get out and you're like, oh shit, I can't walk anymore, and they're like, why didn't you go to medical? You're like, well, I don't want people to make fun of me. And then next thing you know, it's like, well, we're not going to cover it, and then now you have to live the rest of your life. Like, you got to take care of yourself. And not only with medical stuff, but too, like, save money, look for the future. Don't marry a stripper. I don't care how
So many stupid stories
good
in the
looking
military.
if you think she is. If she says she wants to go home with you, she probably goes home with a lot of guys. So don't marry a stripper. Don't buy a car off a base. And
Oh my god, yeah, that's good advice, I guess.
ask
Yeah.
those ask the sergeants, the corporals, or the E4s, the E5s. Ask them ask them for like advice. Ask them, like, if you could do it over, what mistakes would you not make? What would you change if you could go back when you were a E1 or an E2? And when they tell you these advice, don't shrug it off. Be like, oh, okay, like that makes sense type stuff, Like, just, yeah, don't that would be my advice, is ask the older people, take care of yourself, and be ready to take care of yourself physically and mentally, and then get in that mental space that at the drop of a hat, Uncle Sam can cash your check. Like, we need you to go wherever right now. Just get your shit, you got to go. So that would be my advice to anybody who's potentially looking into joining the military.
Yeah.
Hey, go Marine Corps. Join the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aim high, fly, fight, win, Air Force. We're gonna start fighting in a minute.
Yeah. If we're gonna fight, yeah. Anyways, but thank you for being on. I've had a great time. It was fun as
man.
always. It's always good hanging out and talking, and it's good learning. I learned some stuff about you I didn't know.
Yeah.
So
same with you, man. What?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like I said, General Mattis, when you're ready to sit down and talk with me, to do this interview, we'll do mine. So, but until then, next week, I'm not entirely sure who's going to be on yet. Adulting things are taking place in life, so you got to semper gumby, adapt and overcome. So I'm not exactly sure who's going to be next, so I'm not going to announce who's going to be next. So, but any parting words?
I guess for me, I appreciate everyone being here, listening to me at least, divulging some of my secrets in my life personally.
Yeah.
Normally would not do this, but I felt the need to do this to show others that they're not alone and that we care about them. Bob, thanks for holding this. Like this is such a great experience. I kid you not, it's a great experience. I loved it. It was great. Had a great time.
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you for all being here.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, thank everybody. Steal my thunder again. Thank everybody for being in the chat. I know I kind of ignored some people because I like to. This is all about Shadow. So everything that's going on right now is all about Shadow. It's not about the people in the chat. It's not about whatever. But thank you for everybody who was following, for the biddies, the raid. That was great. I super appreciate it. It means so much for the support of everybody coming out. And for those of you who are watching live right now, up in the chat, there's a link to YouTube where this is going to live forever. Those of you who are watching on YouTube, you're already on the YouTube. So if you don't know, check it out on YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button or subscribe or whatever. Yeah, it'll be on YouTube until either Z asks me to take it down or the robots take over. One or the other.
Oh, so Sneaky brought a good point. Shout out to Stream Elements. As a first-time streamer at the beginning, Stream Elements was always there for me.
Oh.
I would always shout out to them.
Oh, okay.
When you start out as a streamer, you pretty much have Stream Elements watching you all the time.
Oh, yeah. I had Dan. Dan was in my stream every day. He was in my stream. It would just be me and him, and he wouldn't say anything. So I might as well just been streaming Stream Elements. I'd be like, "Oh, dang, is this working?" And he'd be like, "Yeah, everything's working fine." I'd be like, "Oh, okay. Oh shit, I didn't know you were in here." But yeah, so I super appreciate it. Thanks everybody for the support. And I'm gonna shut this off, but then I'm coming back because we're gonna play some more games here in a little while. But and those of you who are watching on YouTube, head on over to twitch.tv/VOP Gaming to see me live. Might see this guy live sometime if we do another tea time or something. You know,
we might to music videos and karaoke time. That was actually, it got better. Ooh,
yeah, it got better as the night went. As soon as we figured it out, it got better.
Yeah, had to get our groove.
Yeah,
like the Emperor's New Groove.
So everybody who's kind of here right now, you know, like I'm gonna shut this off and then turn it back on. So if you want to stick around and hang out, feel free to do it. If not, like I said, twitch.tv/VOP Gaming. Come check me out. All of Z's links will be in the description of this YouTube video. I'll get it right one of these days. It'll all be in the links to this YouTube video. Oh yeah, Z.
Yeah, Z.
It'll all of his links will be in the description below, and then yeah, we'll be back. Doc, it doesn't work in this screen. Sorry, you're not the only one who's tried it. But until then, thank you everybody for the support. Remember who you are. We'll see you in the next.